Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you.
Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line.
Wherever you go, you can listen to the news. You can sleep with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Now, here comes the music.
2 weeks off and we're back. You're welcome. And if you didn't want it, we're sorry.
Too bad.
Too bad.
You can't have everything.
Nobody can get everything. In fact, we couldn't even get the entire cast here tonight.
We're doing a hell of a job. Pluses and minuses, people.
All the way around. Somebody's always got to give and somebody's got to take. Well, Ms. Ryer has decided that due to traffic and bad planning, she's only had 2 weeks to figure this out. She is not going to be with us tonight. So you're just stuck with the fearsome threesome here to talk about all that we can talk about in a matter of 3 hours, which I think we've done it before.
I feel confident.
I do too. Well, we've been gone for 2 weeks, so we know we've got that. Plus, you were on a world tour, so we have to suffer through a slideshow.
Hey, viewer request.
Yeah, oh, sure. Well, I saw that. Yes, and I have your pictures all downloaded, so you're good to go. Welcome everybody to our show. Our back. It doesn't feel like we've even been off at all, other than the fact that I came in here today and was like,
Cobwebs.
I had to figure out some things. How does this work? What happens here? How does this knob go? Actually, what usually happens every week is some. What is that? What usually does happen is this room becomes a little bit of a catch-all with stuff over the course of a week. In fact, a neighbor had moved away, so gave me a couple extra flags, a gay flag, and a couple different things. So they were just laying on the table.
Did they fuck?
And I forgot. No.
The flag, the gay flag. I mean, it was just the way you said it was very funny.
No, I got what you're trying
Like there
to
was a
do.
Me Too moment somewhere between your two flags.
Yes, no. I was gonna hang them up earlier, but I felt that I was rushed and I wasn't gonna have proper placement, so I decided to wait. So, hi, Mom and Summer and Joe. Oh yeah. Now, by the way, Summer and company are trying to stay awake because they are. This is the first show with what I hate every year, which is is it the summer solstice or is this summer solstice?
No, the spring equinox.
Whatever the fuck it is, where we change time again, except us. Arizona stays.
Right. And we don't do daylight savings time because we were raised right.
Raised right, like three other places in the continental United States.
That's how we all found each other. We have a distinct distaste for daylight savings time.
Yeah, I would be really happy. Be really happy if we would just not do this at all. Now, the only plus,
and whilst traveling internationally,
yeah, you got a story.
Different fucking countries change their clocks on different fucking days.
Yeah, they got you in a pickle.
No. Is what I had to say. No.
But you didn't know it until you got to the States.
I know, but I was all panicked at 3 a.m. that I was losing an hour in Italy, and when will I get it back? Do I have to come back in October? Do they mail it to you? How does it work?
Wouldn't it be nice if you just got some extra time? You could pause everybody else and have an hour just to do what you wanted to do.
I've been drinking. But, so there's questions.
Yeah, no kidding.
Can't tell.
Since the last
Fuckers.
show.
Yeah. No, I was just 8 days sober.
It's a long time.
Till today.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know. Not getting that chip back.
No.
I do enjoy a good falling off the wagon. So.
I do, too. I dove. I was like, oh, no.
He dragged it in the forest and set it on fire.
I went for points.
Totally nailed the dismount.
Exactly.
I'm not falling off the wagon. I'm doing like a double gator.
Nice. I see.
Twist.
I'm doing gymnastics. You're doing high dive.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
got it.
Same wagon.
I got it.
Oh, that's lovely to think of.
There's
it.
things on either side. Mats, pools, allegedly.
They seem like activities
A lot
people
of times
do.
people flip around when they dismount both.
Oh, very painful.
Oh, I usually have to pee.
Wow.
I'm just going for it. I figured, what the hell? I got nothing to lose at this point. Oh, I didn't.
Like a
I
brand new
should have changed
unfiltered
this. There, I
pee.
changed that much. That's better. It's our logo.
Getting to my girlfriend because they're smart. I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no fucking sense. If you do a little light googling, I don't want to recommend a lot of googling because of the lovely weather outside.
Bad for you.
But
Things that sound dirty that aren't.
to find a little synopsis of the couple times we tried daylight savings time in Arizona and were nearly set on fire by the sun that they were like, oh no, make that earlier.
Can we get
rid of
while
that
I'm
sun.
inside?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I don't know
It
if
can't
this.
be 10 o'clock and still daylight.
I
That can't happen.
suspect that this has something to do though with the change of things because locally here in the Phoenix area, for those of you who are not in the Phoenix area, we have two different power companies. One is called the Salt River Project, or SRP. The other one is Arizona Power Systems or Supply, whatever
I
it's
was going
called.
to be really impressed if you knew what the fuck that stood for.
Whatever, APS.
Damn it.
Arizona Power, what is it? Arizona Power Supply? Arizona Power System?
Stand by.
She'll get it. Service. Arizona Power Service. I'm gonna go with the third one.
Stand by.
Anyway, they sent out
Let's just say I believe you.
they sent out a letter recently, and all these years, you can do a time advantage program for your power plan at your house, so that it costs you more in the middle of the day to do things other than at night, so you get a break. For a lot of people who aren't home during the day, you would opt to have your power be more expensive during the day. You could have your air conditioning turned higher and not have to pay as much. Well, they just sent a new thing out and changed my power plan. It used to be my on-peak hours were 12 to 7, which costs more. Now they've reduced them. It's from 3 to 8. So it's
But now it costs way
right,
more.
it's 5 hours, and it costs way more to do. And somehow they, in their analysis, they seem to think that I'm going to save like $3.
Here's what I'm going to do, because I got that same letter. It's the Arizona Public Service Electric
Public
Company,
Service.
by the way.
God damn it, I was wrong again.
Damn it.
Okay, Arizona Public Service.
I'm at 3 o'clock all summer going to shut the air conditioning off and just force the children into the pool. Just, nope, nobody can be in the house anymore. Too bad, we're in the pool till 8
Maybe you
o'clock.
just go out and just shut the main switch and just cut power to the house off.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
for those 5 hours.
Here it is, guys. 5 hours every day. No internet.
Right, nothing.
No television.
Don't
no
open the
air
fridge.
conditioning.
Yeah.
Right. No food. No ice.
Not a
Just
single
sit in
luxury.
that fucking pool.
Exactly. Enjoy that fucking pool. Yes. Are you
No.
APS or SRP?
God bless me, I'm SRP.
Oh, God, I wish I was. I don't know what the cutoff is here in this neighborhood, but I've always
Good
wished
taste.
Wow. When did you start drinking today? When you woke up?
Let's just say earlier.
Yeah. Is early a number? Yeah, apparently.
Is yesterday a time?
Yeah. So anyway, that's been my frustration with, and I keep thinking, is this connected somehow to daylight savings time? Because now clearly the hotter hours, which I realize, are 3 to 8 at night. That's when you're really cranking. So people all go home from their cushy, turn it down to 60 degrees in my corporate office because I don't fucking care, and then they go home, and they're just going to ding you again.
Right, and the worst part is then it used to last another hour. The couple times we tried it, the sun never went down.
Yeah. Stays up
So
till
they were
10
like, yeah,
o'clock.
we don't need to save daylight. We got plenty.
Yeah, extra.
How about we spend our daylight earlier in the year?
My God. Oh, and then the other thing I heard, and you might know this because
But Hawaii doesn't do it? That's
Oh.
a weird thing.
The
I don't-
daylight savings issue?
Yeah,
Hawaii
but I
doesn't
don't
do it?
understand Hawaii doesn't do it.
well, and there's a couple places in
like Indiana has like slow time
Right.
and fast time, but they're kind of
No, I don't know about that. No,
They're
I
on
thought
the
it was like a
spectrum.
county or like 2 farmhouses that didn't do it for some reason. I thought there was something like
Kind
that.
of. There's a couple
3
counties
diners
in Indiana.
and 1 public high school.
There's a section of a Navajo reservation that doesn't observe
and
daylight
yes.
savings time. There's
Oh, and
little
they're
weird
just
pockets.
against the
Yeah.
white man fucking with time. I get that. That seems
I don't
legit.
blame them.
I think we go back to their time. I
White
like
people
it.
are terrible.
Oh, and they call it something
Call
funny.
it native time.
You know, maybe they do.
Like that makes sense.
They do. There's a name for it.
I'm all for
I'm
native
not making
time.
this up, and I don't want this to turn into a hate crime. But we've taken patients
Too
from
late.
them, and they've said what time they're on, and there was a name for it that I was like,
Oh,
I've never heard of that.
Kat will figure this out. Jenny, it's really warm in Phoenix. You are correct.
Oh no, it's cool and delightful.
It's no in the summer. I
Oh.
assume you're meaning summer, but no, it is absolutely gorgeous right now.
Oh.
Stunningly gorgeous.
Today's one of those days that you're like, why the fuck would I go anywhere?
Right, until you remember that in 2 weeks it's gonna be 180 degrees, and then you're like, can I
2
go
months.
anywhere else?
2 months.
Whatever.
I know a friend of mine. We were actually just having this conversation over cocktails.
Shock face right here.
Yeah.
All day long.
Earlier.
It's gonna
Every
be
day.
for Saturday. It's gonna be 92.
It's perfect.
That sounds lovely.
But we were saying like this is the time of year you just don't go anywhere else because all you'll be is disappointed by their weather.
Absolutely.
Like 92 and dry and sunny. Fuck you.
They showed-
What's your counter offer there? You know
There
what I mean?
was something.
What are you bringing to the table?
Something on the news from Texas, outside of Dallas, where their first spring storms were coming in. They're already showing hail, and I'm like, nope, I'm good. Don't need it. Don't need hail. A couple years ago, we had a big hailstorm here in Phoenix in October, and
Oh, super
it
weird.
fucked up every car dealership because all their cars got trashed.
Yeah.
Had a lot of it. What did you figure out? Was it what is the?
I still got nothing.
She'll figure it out later.
Can I tell you a disappointing story? So lazy ass
Can't
that I
we
am.
I
stop?
thought I was in the middle of a story, but now
No,
I,
I'm so sorry.
Now I don't.
I didn't know
no,
what your
really,
story
you're not.
was about.
I don't. Something about time, and now I've forgotten what it is.
We
Is
went
it
to
on
hail.
your side?
No. Oh, I was just
Am I supposed to be taking me notes?
David.
David, if you don't know what you're talking about, how can I possibly know what you're talking about?
Ew, David.
Mom-
I just went on the hail story with all the cars.
Oh yes. It's,
I didn't leave the house when they called me to ask if there's any damage. I was like, no, you're fine. And I hung up and then realized that my car had been damaged and I missed out on all that insurance money.
oh.
Because I'm like, come out, look for your goddamn self. I was watching something terribly important
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
or clearly at home in my underwear.
yeah.
Incidentally, an important update. I was incorrect. The Navajo Nation in northeastern Arizona does observe daylight savings time. The rest of Arizona does not.
Well, they're somewhere else.
Oh, right. That's what
Yeah.
you said.
No, I said that they
He can't
were,
hear correctly right
I
now.
said Navajo Nation reservation, yes, but I thought that they also did not observe, but they do.
Right, that makes them a different time from us. That's
They're
why
the
when you
opposite
call
of
them,
what we do, right?
right. So that's why when you call them,
There's a time.
you get this thing about what they call
us.
their. They have a name for it, and it's not mountain
Yeah.
time.
Arizona and Hawaii are the only two states that don't observe.
God bless us both.
But there's a portion of some other state.
I think Indiana changed that law. I think they made themselves all one time recently.
A few U.S. territories also refrain from observing. They include the Commonwealths of Puerto Rico, the Northern Mariana Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, and Guam, all fairly tropical places.
And
So-
that thing in the port.
And they don't even reference Indiana, so they may have changed that.
We should be done with it. I just done with it. It
And
makes
the thing
so much
about
more
Puerto
sense.
Rico is I didn't know there was another time zone still in the U.S. I didn't know about Atlantic time. So when we went to Puerto Rico, we didn't know what
Oh, so there's
I
East
couldn't
Coast,
figure
there's
out the
Eastern,
time.
and then there's Atlantic.
Atlantic time. And there's
Ah.
like one more time zone lingering there.
I forget about that. You're right.
I just assumed we were in Eastern time, so we were a couple minutes late for a few things the first day.
Oh, the first day. I was.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about
Probably
your return
60.
minutes.
Give or take.
If we
didn't know
change an
people were-
hour,
Probably
how many
about-
minute am I going to
Probably
lose?
about 72
No,
minutes
we-
late to everything.
we missed a cab. We did miss one cab, and then asked like, what time zone are you in? Like we just couldn't figure it out. And then they were like, it's something called Atlantic time, and I was like, Google, please tell me what the fuck Atlantic time is. who can
7
say?
o'clock.
Oh, good God, that's fun times.
And I've got nothing here but theories. I got nothing looked up on here. No reason to have the internet.
Yeah. Good God, it's going to be
Fair.
a bumpy night.
I'm trying to catch up. This mojito's helping me.
Of course it was.
So what'd you do this week?
Delightful.
What'd you do?
These weeks.
I don't know. Made shirts.
Oh, how is the Kat Carlson world of impressions and screen printing going?
Amazingly. I was so busy last week, I could barely keep up with it, which is amazing.
Oh, good.
Oh, well played.
I know. My little business is a real boy now
Oh,
with like bank accounts and tax ID numbers and the whole thing.
No
I'm a
shit.
real- yeah,
Oh,
I'm a real-
wow.
Wow.
That escalated
Next thing you're going to
quickly.
find out is your HOA will let you run a business out of your garage.
No HOA.
Oh, okay. Good for you. Good for you.
2, the landlord does inspections quarterly, so I'm gonna have to pack my stuff up every 3 months. Other than that, I should be. good.
Actually, I bet you won't have to. You just be like, I make sure it's for
I'm crafting.
right decoupage.
Right.
Just baffling with all kinds of words you can get out of craft books. But I would just say you're making shirts to raise money at the school charity.
Oh, that's true.
You just throw in a fucking
partly
charity.
true.
I mean, that's how the churches do it.
Partly
Okay.
true.
If I ever say I'm about to decoupage, that's a cry for help. Like, get the SWAT teams.
I have a list
have
of
been.
things that you've listed that are cries for help.
I think that, and I just created this. Can't think of the word. PowerPoint.
Oh. How
If I
crafty
ever-
of you.
How did you do a PowerPoint?
No, I can't. And I hope to die without the ability. So if I ever say to you, I just finished this PowerPoint, there's a gun pointed at me, there's a bomb about to go off.
See, this is why we need to start sharing the find your friends on the phones again, because that way, if you call me someday and you're like, I'm about to decoupage, will you join me? I have to look to find out where you want
Who are
to tell
ya?
to tell the authorities.
Wait, is that some kind of a safe word now?
Yeah, decoupage.
Pineapple, decoupage. Yes.
Is that like the emergency code word? Like,
Yeah.
if I'm kidnapped and I call you and I say decoupage, you're gonna
I
call
don't
the
know where
authorities?
you are, but I'm about to decoupage.
No, don't worry about me. I'm just in the back of a van. I'm gonna do a little decoupage.
Yeah, right.
Everything's
And then you'll hang
fine.
up immediately and call the cops.
Right.
I watched an episode of television where Rosie O'Donnell explained to me what decoupage was, and I wanted to kill myself. I suddenly understood what a lack of a desire to live felt like.
Here's what's
That's all
happened
it
in my
took?
life.
That's all,
That's all it
took.
took.
I've actually, at least one time, been sleep deprived and helpless enough that I've watched videos of Rosie O'Donnell actually decoupaging.
Without a gun to your head?
Yeah.
Couldn't move. Too tired to get up and change it. Just
This is how they found her.
It was like lesbian bed death, but just with, it's another lesbian.
Yeah.
Actually, Rosie O'Donnell
She
I don't
hit
like
the
where you're going with
Decoupage
this. It's kinda like-
YouTube channel and it was all over.
It's kind of like those little goats that when they get scared, they just freeze and fall over. Is that what happened to you? You saw Rosie O'Donnell decoupaging and you just froze.
I saw the light. I mean, I saw where it all ends.
Here's what happens to me sometimes. I know you've probably experienced this. I may
Go ahead, we got plenty of time.
I know. I get a little excited and overcommitted sometimes
Yes.
and run myself into the ground. And so then I just turn into like this zombie state. And so then suppose someone right, I like it when she goes buh, 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 buh. And then
Falsetto child.
perhaps in the past I may have dated someone that was obsessed with Rosie O'Donnell and dubbed videos like decoupaging. And so then I would be held captive by my own exhaustion because then I would just have to sit there because I had no power to move. While she said, "Look at this, isn't this great, Rosie? I'm gonna start decoupaging."
Wow.
We're not together.
I don't know whether to feel bad for you.
No, we're not together anymore.
I know those things. I know those nights when you've like worked too many in a row,
Yeah.
and then you're just off, and you're like a bath, a pizza, 2 episodes of X-Files, and then I'm probably gonna go back to bed. We're gonna have to call it time of death about 5 hours after I woke up.
Then you get in bed and you just can't go to sleep to save your fucking
Oh no,
life.
happy, delighted.
No. Thank God for handheld devices like iPhones and iPads
Wow.
and stuff.
Wow.
Inside voices.
I didn't realize that escalated quickly. I didn't realize we were going to go.
I heard
Those,
it.
I mean, it helps you
You
sleep.
heard it coming out of
I
your
don't,
mouth.
I don't want to disagree with you on my handheld
I heard
device.
it as it was happening,
helping
and I
me
tried to
sleep.
save it.
And I would even use the
people.
phrase Palm Pilot at this point because I feel that that's not going
We
to
don't
help.
want to confuse the millennials or me, because I don't know what that is either.
So, to correct Joe in the chat room,
Oh, this ought to be good.
yeah, the Fashion Empire is not yet making more money than the show. We're still pretty far in debt.
Sadly, I think you are. I think you are.
She's got a ways to
Sadly-
zero.
This is bleeding about
Yeah, I'm-
$75 a month out here. So I figure I'm in the red.
Oh, I'm way in the red right now. Oh yeah.
You have a chance to make it back.
I do.
though.
That's true.
Yeah. People actually wear your shirts.
Maybe. I don't care if they wear them as long as they pay for them.
Good point. That really is all what
So I
it's all
feel
about.
about cocktails too.
Yeah.
I don't care if you drink it as long as you pay for
Oh,
it.
yeah. May not like it, but you're going to pay for it. Sure. Up front, please. Yeah. Absolutely.
Money right now.
Yeah.
no-
So you're. Oh, continue on. I didn't know where you were
No,
going.
I was just gonna continue on with the
It's
Fashion
an
Empire.
interruption of
Oh,
an
dude.
interruption of an interruption.
Well, the whole goddamn show's been that way for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, so continue on with whatever you were talking about.
Just going fantastically. I had a couple of like custom jobs come my way that I successfully completed. So far, to no demands of refund, so that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
no one said this is crap. I want my money back. So I feel like that's a win.
Well, I feel
Feels
if
good.
you first of all you buy quality shirts. I mean, you're starting out with. They can't say the shirt was bad.
I love the shirts. that
Okay,
they
well
wear.
that's good.
Yeah.
See,
That's why this shirt got so much wear. It's because it's so comfortable.
yeah,
Oh,
he wore it all the
went
fuck
all
over
around
Italy.
the world.
All the way.
And
I can attest to this.
Aye. Thank you. Now was that again? Because typically you've been doing stuff for charity stuff, fundraising things. Was this job a charity thing?
No, one of them was, one of them not. So one is
Like an I'm with stupid shirt or something like that?
No. One was a friend of mine
That
is
Baron
having
Trump.
a.
He's always online.
He's so clever. A friend of mine is having a family reunion this year and wanted some gay shirts made up. So we worked together and. Because
Because you don't think the rest of the family knows?
right.
That's the gay one.
No. They're very cute. It was like the state of Arizona and then like a little dotted line trail that goes up to the state that they're from, either a Michigan or a Minnesota. I don't remember which one they
No
look
one
like,
knows.
but
One of the
you know
upper.
what I mean. Like she had seen a similar design on something else, so she sent me the picture and I made the design for her that she wanted. So it says like her family's name in 2018 and the 2 states that they're from. It was cute.
All right.
Paid money. The other one is trying to convince somebody that t-shirt fundraising is a good idea. Friend of a friend who's out of state who was like, I don't quite understand. So my friend said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do...
Make you a shirt.
Right. Well, no. So the mediating friend said, I'll buy the first batch. Make me a dozen shirts. I'm going to ship them out. I'm going to tell her what to do. And then she's going to see, holy crap, people like this kind of a thing.
Do you think this person doesn't understand how to wear a shirt?
You know what? I'm not
Oh, I
gonna,
don't know what the confusion is with fucking a shirt.
We are
that-
not a medical program.
What is the problem? How do you not understand how fundraising and a T-shirt can go together?
well, you know what's funny is we get really kind of judgy about that because I feel like No, but I feel like being in the community where we are and living the life that we've lived, like close to the bars and close to a lot of fundraising, like fundraising is no big deal for us.
It's all second nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can raise money out of nothing. I did it once for a sponsorship for no apparent reason.
There was a
Just-
part of the story that took part in a prairie that I missed, right?
Right.
These aren't about big
yeah,
city folk.
These aren't big city folk. Correct.
I am right back
Is
on
Laura
board.
Ingalls part of this?
Yes.
Right.
She makes a surprise appearance in the second act.
Good.
So the faraway customer is going, what do you mean you sell t-shirts? Where do you get the t-shirts and how do you sell and how is it a fundraiser? Here's what we're going to do.
Right.
Here's 12 shirts. Take them out to this fishing show or whatever that you're doing
Ooh.
and put a sign up and tell people what your cause is because it's a good cause. It's a fund that helps provide financial assistance to athletes for the Special Olympics who are over the age of 18 because in the special needs world, once you age out, you're kind of screwed. You know what I
okay,
mean? Like
right.
there's a lot of
Okay.
funding for
Sure.
children
Sure.
with special needs. There's not a lot of funding for adults with
Adults,
special needs.
regardless
Right.
of your disability.
So
Okay.
this one is, run by a mom of a special needs guy who's over 18, started the charity. Yeah, so what, you know what I
A
mean?
terrific cause.
Right.
No, totally.
Right. And once you tell people your story, people go, "Oh, sure, it's just I'll take a shirt." Absolutely.
Or
You
he
know,
just or here's money.
Or here's some money.
Right, right.
Right. So it's just helping someone in another place in the way that we've been fundraising.
If we had let you get to the heart of this story, it's really quite touching, and what a great idea.
I'm curious to see how many dollars they raise, David.
But that's absolutely true. For something like that, you would
Dollars.
want. You're sure. What amount of money do you want so I can have a T-shirt that says, "I was
Right.
a halfway decent human being one afternoon"?
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, priceless.
That's
Exactly.
lovely.
Yeah, I'll reserve you a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the other kind of big job, and I did everything from the design on down.
Are you doing still single color shirts? Single color screens?
Still single color print.
That sounded judgy. Now I get it.
No. I just read
Single
it.
color.
Right, because I know it's going to cost her more.
I thought she was making still single shirts like for
Right.
you and me, and I'm
no,
like, wow.
no.
I guess happy birthday.
Not still single shirts. Are you still making single color shirts? It's very discreet. God, but I get what you thought.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just
Yes.
mean.
Al and I will just wear shirts that says still single after all these
Right.
years.
Watch me eat and try to figure out why. It's a mystery.
I won't even get up to go look for hail damage on my car.
Because there's a new bag of pistachios. Fuck you. Just guess there isn't. I don't want the money.
You are correct. Currently, the equipment that I own
Right.
allows for one screen and one color ink at a time.
Okay. That's cool.
In a.
But I want a still single shirt now because now it's fun.
I'm gonna write it down.
Double XL V-neck, please.
I'll
Thank
bet
you
they're
very
gonna
much.
be my biggest seller.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a really imprecise design because I've messed with a couple of shirts in putting like ink on top of ink, but it's fairly imprecise.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of ability to line things up perfectly. So a design where colors were touching and you wanted them seamless, I wouldn't be able to do. But if it was something like a background image and then
Right.
text or something on top, I could totally do that. So we're learning and growing.
No, I think that's so cool.
Oh,
And no snakes. Just have the counter space.
Is that an armadillo cake? Well, that's cool. Now, I will tell you, I have absolutely no interest in the project you're doing as far as learning how to do them.
can't tell.
But no, I think it's great that you're doing it.
I have absolutely no interest in you.
You just spent 30 minutes trying to spit out what you've been doing, and I don't give a shit. But good for you.
No, I'd like that you do it.
You're putting
I
like
don't wanna
really
learn how to do
interesting
it.
pauses in your sentences today.
I've been watching a lot of
Still
TV.
single. You know what I mean?
Comma. Hashtag pound.
It sounded
Whatever.
like there was time for a prayer in between that and the next word.
You know I'm not gonna pray. You know that.
At this point. Oh no.
Wow.
You really should stop drinking.
And it's and again it's called
Hey Cat.
Hey Cat.
The website is heycat.co.
I was gonna say Cat's Creation. Oh, you got the .co. Look at you.
The .co. We can't afford the M because somebody else already owns it.
Right.
Don't die. Please don't die.
Sorry, he doesn't understand all of the things about web domains, so
Yeah.
I got what you said. And that I'm interested in. See, isn't that funny?
Right? Yeah. Some woman in Texas with like,
Oh no.
I don't know, 3 logo designs under her belt has the .com.
And won't let it go.
Well, I haven't asked because I don't have any money to offer her. So.
Yeah. Well, she might just be sitting on it because nobody's offered her $10.
Right. She might not even know that it's still charging
Try
her
to
credit
kill
card.
her.
Wow. That's kind of
That might be
morbid.
maybe a step too far, my friend.
Okay.
And it was just
I
broadcast.
couldn't see the line from here, so I just thought maybe I'd suggest things.
It was turn around and look. There it is.
The line's
I-
back there.
I crossed it a
Yeah,
little bit.
you did cross the line. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah,
just cut off our
our-
wireless service.
Oh.
Our spring break was all work and no play for me.
Oh,
I know. It happens.
it does happen.
What do you do?
Apparently, work.
Sharon and the kids went on a lovely vacation over the kids' spring break without me.
Oh, but
It
was
was-
it? I know,
It
okay.
was lovely.
There's
Let
your
me tell
spring
you.
break. There's
Yeah.
your Christmas in March.
Yeah. But I literally worked every day that they were gone.
Okay. But you didn't have to worry about anybody else, which
Right.
is really nice.
Still didn't have to act like I liked anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have to sneer at anyone to make them get out of my chair. It was lovely.
I like the fact you've already got you're an official company now with you got numbers and licenses and things going on.
Now,
That's cool.
here's what you should know about me. I don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Well, I've known that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't get involved in a lot of projects with you because
Would you like to segue into her international spokesperson now?
by the way,
Well,
I've
I was
heard
just-
lately I have pictures at the ready for this segment. Go.
No, I just wanted to add that she's been photographed in Milan,
I
Venice.
know. I loved the photo series. Loved
Had to be
it.
done. And the Venice
Wow.
one was physically painful.
Yeah, and I was actually kind of upset that I hadn't gotten you a new shirt with the new logo. Because what a great advertising opportunity. The city of Milan would have been delighted.
Well, it's a fashion industry
Right,
all over.
the
right
fashion
there,
empire
right.
needs to start
And
there.
I
When
was
are you
not
going back?
unaware of this. Well, very soon we hope. But then the reason that I didn't photograph it in Florence because I wanted a reason to go back,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a good enough reason to be like, well, the Kat Carlson Memorial VIP Lounge T-shirt has not been photographed in Florence. I must go back because I needed a reason. And by Rome, it smelled a little. So
Oh, it's fair. Sure.
we were a
Understood.
few days out from the washing machine because if I wore that, it was cold most of the time. I had to wear it underneath what I was wearing, so I really did. I wasn't pretending to wear it. Like that really was
Oh.
the undershirt of the day, like twice, and I slept in it.
Can you attest to the comfort of the T-shirt?
It's delightful, whether you're wearing it underneath a sweater or you're sleeping in it as pajamas, like I am wont to do. Both were delightful. A soft cotton that doesn't cling to the neck like many uncomfortable ones.
On a scale
and
of 1
doesn't
to
ride
10.
up like a
Oh, that is
Fred
important.
Flintstone
Right.
experience.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1
Oh,
being
definitely
least
10, an
likely.
enthusiastic 10
Let her ask the question first.
to any
I'll
question.
take it. I'll allow it. No, thank you, sir. Thank you
No,
for your time.
made out of the most delightful cottons.
I think so too.
And by the way, they're on a 3 easy payment plan right now. If you call 800, hey Kat.
But here's where I made my error.
Oh,
If I can assign blame to myself for just one moment. And then the laundry night, we only had one day with the washing machine in the whole adventure, and only 2 of us had access to it.
Oh my gosh.
And it was all radiators drying our clothes.
and you wonder why I don't want to travel.
Instead of putting on another T-shirt, I wore the Kat Carlson Memorial T-shirt
To launder
to,
the
to
other.
launder everything else
other
because
items.
it's so comfortable. That's why it wasn't laundered
very nice.
mid-trip.
It's all right.
So she was a bit funky by Rome.
Understood.
We tried, and I was like, "Oh no." I don't
Next
wanna
time,
smell-
I'm just
I don't
gonna-
want- I want to be in Europe. I don't want to smell European. You know what I mean?
Perhaps I should just equip you with an entire trip's worth.
Oh, now see, multiple shirts probably
Oh.
would have been a good thing to do.
Who knew to ask for a second
Who,
T-shirt?
who, dude? Now I have a question about
my
this
first fashion
laundry
shoot.
situation. Are they equipped? Because I've not traveled all abroad like you have. Are they not equipped? I realize you were on holiday and you weren't, in a regular house that people live
Wait
in.
a minute.
How are they equipped for laundry service in those places? Do they have just like we do, where you have a room that's got a washer and a dryer, or are they a little more?
I think they're a little bit more laundromat
'Kay.
appropriate. In the place that we had, we had chosen it because it had said that there was some kind of washer involved.
Okay.
And I knew that I can't travel with 13 days worth of underwear, like, and t-shirts and
Right.
socks. Like, it's like halfway we have to find a washing machine.
Mhm.
Halfway through, somebody's got to have the soap. So we had picked this place, and then it turned out it was up in the attic. So it was kind of a fun little adventure of walking, like, up the stairs to the attic with just the washing machine. And in any other time of year, would you get me a little bit more water, please? It would have dried beautifully, but it was freezing fucking cold. So we used all the radiators and towel hangers. All the places in Europe have like these radiator rows, and you hang your towels on them. So overnight your towel dries, and it's all part of your heating system.
Right.
Delightful. But we dried all the clothes, and it was kind of gross because mine was like underwear. Like, so I was trying to dry different. It was just stupid. But they didn't have a dryer because most of the time they would just hang it outside.
Mhm.
You know, they have the kind of weather in that part of the country that.
Well, and they're not. All of them aren't traveling, so they have extra clothes to wait for the other stuff to dry.
Oh, right. But then you either went to the laundry or you could hang your clothes
Which-
outside.
This explains. I didn't understand when you left. You said something about. I think when I dropped you off at the airport, you texted me back. You had like a pound to spare, was a pound over, or whatever it was, your bag. And then you said something about, well, I don't need the laundry soap. And I'm like, why the fuck are you traveling with laundry soap? It has never occurred to me that it wasn't going to be there when you got there, or you couldn't have bought Italian.
And then
Fab.
I don't have to find out what it is.
Oh,
I
okay.
just have those little pods, and I travel with like 8 dryer sheets, and that's just
And
it's
if, you,
some-
if you get in trouble, they double as a snack.
Oh,
right.
Good point. That's a good point.
delicious. I mean, all the youngsters are doing it. And the fun part is because I so often
I'm clean,
can't,
sir, inside and out.
Yeah, I can't. I have trouble sleeping. That sometimes it's just fun to go to a hotel's, because hotels very often they don't talk about it, but they have washers and dryers.
Okay.
Somewhere in the hotel they'll have somewhere to do laundry. And sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll just bring a book to read and sit on a dryer in a hotel laundromat and just have a delightful evening of reading
And all your laundry's clean.
and wait for all my laundry to be done. But I've been going on those 3-week trips every summer, and luckily I'm almost always in Niagara Falls, and my sister, God bless her, does laundry. So I know I only have to pack for like 2 weeks because I know the first week's clothes will all be clean.
Right.
God bless her. I mean, I would never do that for someone else.
Except remember, we have a dryer issue with your sister that I apparently have to travel back with you. And
Fixed. She's been on a tear lately.
she's fixed it.
She's fixed all kinds of
I
things.
haven't heard of these updates from your sister, Debbie.
Turns out public humiliations are the way to go.
I've said it for many years.
I'm gonna need to know what the hell was wrong with his dryer, and I may have to call her.
It was something simple.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Like the tube was clogged.
Yeah, something. But she
Clean
made
the lid trap.
claims. She had stories.
Mice had built
but
a nest
she
in the
likes
tube.
to hang up her clothes. Like the one thing I will say that there's always excuses about the dryer is she likes the clothes to hang up. There's laundry lines in our basement. She likes to hang up the clothes and then just fluff them in the morning. You know what I mean? Everything is hung in fresh air. So that's the story.
Sure.
So that's why she's not real excited about.
So the dryer's
Drying
fixed. Did she
something
fix the
quickly.
light in the corner?
Yes,
Oh my gosh!
I know. Again, public shaming. I recommend it.
I still want to go. At some point, I still have to
Ask
go
for it by name.
because now the new thing is going to be.
Shame.
The new thing is we're going to go there. We're going to go home. I'm going to see where you
Ding,
live,
ding,
and then we're going to drive up to Toronto and go to all the filming
We're
locations.
still
for
going to
Shit-
do
for
that. but
Schitt's Creek.
you have less things to do. We're going to go find all the places.
That'll be great. The
So,
summer.
Did you bring home any slides?
oh yeah, let's show some pictures.
Oh, well, why not? I was just catching up in the chat room because I'm enthralled with the washing
You're-
machine.
oh, yes,
Yes,
right,
very
yeah.
much so.
And I had questions too because now
Okay, I had not kept up with the chat room. That's very funny. I'm starting with what I think is. Well, no, wait.
I'll just talk you through some stuff. So we flew to Milan, and this is us on the plane. That is
I
Chris
figured-
on the right, Jose in the middle, and me there wearing my new little ensemble from Target for just $20. Didn't sleep a wink, but I watched 18 movies.
So lovely.
And I saw Call Me By Your Name on an airplane. This is in Venice as the tide was coming in, going out. I think this is the next morning. No, this is right away. The umbrella's, no, I don't know where it is. That fucking
It's
umbrella.
lovely.
But this is in, across from the train station, freezing cold. And this was suffering for art here because it was very, very cold and very, very raining.
Oh my goodness.
That rain is all very real. And so everyone is holding my jacket and my sweatshirt and everything else that was over me at the time.
While you reenact singing in the
well,
rain.
Well, I did this real quick. But that was freezing that fucking day. This is in Florence. and absolutely the most enchanted evening of my entire life. We had so much fun, and we went to the bridge in Florence. If I didn't say Florence yet, we went there, and like there's just kids like smoking and on dates and sitting around and talking, and they are on a bridge over the Orno or Vorno, whatever that river is, and they are just completely oblivious to like being at the most beautiful place in the world on a bridge overlooking the river with this city behind them, and it's just their local scenery. Like,
Yeah.
there's people there that are having the most romantic evenings of their lives, and people that are just talking about algebra, that are just like, this is where we hang out because it's kind of cool here. That aren't even looking. Like, there was a girl, I'm like, how bored are you with this, that you're sitting with your back to the view of this bridge, that you're just sitting there talking about some Italian shit, and you're oblivious to that. This is in Venice, the nice day. Absolutely beautiful. When we finally found St. Mark, all the fighting and the arguing. These two here, delights, but they both have their own very unique sense of direction, and they bicker about it like an old married couple all the time. And it rained and rained and rained, and they have acqua alta, which was means, I'm like, this is not rain. Like, we had like 13 inches to go before we overflowed the canals. Something else is happening.
Right.
And these two are like, what is your problem? I'm like, there's just something else happening here besides the rain. It's Aqua Alta. The tide came in, and this is the next day after, if you've watched all the videos on Facebook, all the adventures with the rain and how much fun we had. This was the next day when it was nice, and they brought me to the sea, and I actually got to see the sea. And I'm like, that was a goddamn tide last night. That's not rain.
Right.
We went to dinner at high fucking tide. You people are idiots. You got to tell us when high tide is. Just dumb. But one of the funnest nights, 'cause everyone was in a good mood, and we had so much fun running around through the rain, completely lost. This is in Florence again. This is the Pitti Palace, which it looks really awful from the outside, and people are not going to describe it right, but once you get in, there's like 13 stories worth of gardens, and it is absolutely gorgeous in there.
Did you and Matt Maraska have fun at the prom?
Yes, we did. We had a good time at the prom. This is in between. We went up to the Piazza di Michelangelo, which is above Florence, overlooks the entire city. I talked them into going. They were really cool about it, so we took a cab, and we walked down through the park from above the city all the way down to that other palace I just showed you. And these are these little places. It was raining so much that, like, this is like a tribute to mildew. Like, this is just fucking mold and mildew, but it made like a little grotto, or I don't know what a grotto is, but I'm assuming it's something like this. And it was just so green and lush and beautiful. And it was just pretty. So that's just above. It's a little park above Florence.
Follow-up question: does he always look like your prom date in photos, or
Yes, it
just
turns out.
recently?
Oh, and this is in Venice in the rain. We were like running around. The tide was in. My pants were ruined. My sneakers were ruined. My socks were ruined. We were seriously in like 2 feet of water. We got up on a little bit of high ground, and they were having this street concert. I don't know if they were pushing the wine or if I don't know what the hell they were selling. But this band was on stage. It was dry because they were like a foot higher than everyone else, and we were just dancing around. They had wine for like €4 that came out of a cask that it like took 2 people to lift. I mean, seriously, it was like bathtub gin. But it was just going on in the middle of the night, and it saved us because we were soaking wet and pissed off at each other. You know what I mean? We were just pissed off because we were lost. We weren't mad at each other. We were mad at the water. And it just turned the tide. We ended up dancing with the band, like just craziness.
I think this one is out
And
of,
look at my headlights up.
out of sequence. This one, I guess, is going
And
back.
now we're back again because I kept taking pictures where I was trying to hide my breasts, and then I realized I was hiding the Cat Carlson T-shirt.
Gotcha.
So it would take like 3 tries. Oh,
Lunch or dinner somewhere.
lunch or dinner, high up in Tuscany. No, in the Amalfi Coast, way high up.
Now, I have specific interest in this picture.
This is Diego. He is our driver. If you go to Sorrento or Naples or Amalfi, you need to hire Diego. I have all his info. He was a delight.
I need a pen pal.
Yes. I have his information. You can grade him, call him, find him on Facebook. He's my friend on Facebook. He was just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful host through the Amalfi Coast, and our driver, like, he was fantastic.
Very cool.
Can't
Next.
say enough nice things about him. Little house. What outfit was that? I don't
It
know.
appears to be blue jeans and a maroon sweater.
I don't know. There was something about the palm trees that
I
this
could-
picture is about.
I assumed it was because of that house. That's why.
Yes, and I wanted Claudia de Ferrovia's house, but I'm sorry. Is it Amina in the room? Claudia Ferrovia is my name. My given name.
I approve.
So this
You should approve.
was somewhere pretty. I don't know.
You should, although you should learn where your house is. Just
Oh,
saying.
it was on the Amalfi Coast. No, I'm not. Yes, I am in that sweater. It's along the Amalfi Coast. In one of the cities we were in, we just found these beautiful houses. The Amalfi Coast, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It's this beautiful thing. Don't drive yourself. Hire Diego. Have him drive you down. Go to the little towns, villages, what have yous, up through the mountains and back to Naples to get out. Absolutely a gorgeous day. We saw like 5 different weather patterns. We were on the beach. We were in snow all in the same day. All in the same, and it was just every time you turned a corner, something was just more beautiful than the last. And this whole drive was spectacular on a cloudy, partially sunny day. Oh, it was lovely, and we had so much fun. We really did.
I think this next picture is part of you driving. I think.
Oh, this was the most magical place on earth, and I took prisoners. We're not gonna lie. I
My
went
gosh.
and found people and took prisoners. Oh, I gotta pee. Okay, so, can we take a dance break real quick?
You have that much to tell us?
Oh, I do. This is a very magical moment, and I have to pee.
Oh, well, okay, then we'll.
And we'll stop it after this slide.
Well, no, because there's only like 6 more. We're good.
I can get the whole story in, but I gotta pee.
Okay, well then we'll do this. Here we go. Yeah, I think.
Of jelly jiggling fun. This is your 30-second dance break.
It's gonna be longer than 30 seconds.
If you think it sucked so far, just wait till after this 30-second dance break.
Well, the squirrels are back in the attic. Your dad won't call an exterminator. He says it's personal this time. Where are you? It's very loud there. Are you taking a Zumba class?
No, now we're back from our dance break. So Hal's relieved
I
now.
got a little emotional, actually. It wasn't so much that I had to pee.
Oh,
So in Sorrento, we all just wandered by ourselves. It's a cute little city. Jose went over to Capri. People took naps. People walked around. I just decided to go exploring because I think this town is just gorgeous, and there's so many little surprises. It's just the most adorable little fucking town. And I had stumbled upon this church. Decided to go in because it was nighttime, and there's always a chance that someone's gonna be playing the organ, and I love organ playing in church, but there wasn't. So I did my respectful thing, walked through, came out, and I was like bombarded with this Italian tour group, and there was nowhere to go. So I just had to be in front of their group. Like I couldn't fight upstream, so they pushed me into this park. And it was right as the sun was setting, but the sun was setting behind me, not in front of me. So I wasn't watching sunset. I was kind of like watching twilight happen. And I realized I was in this park that overlooks, it's on the cliffs of Sorrento, and it looks at Naples in the distance. It's the whole peninsula. And we were there just as the light was fading and just as the lights of the city came up. And there was like this mist from the rainy day. And the Italian tour guide behind me was screaming out, "Miracle, milagro, milagro," because it was just the most beautiful colors I had ever seen. And everywhere I looked was just this mist with light coming out and this really light blue, and it was just astounding. And then this British tour group comes in, and they're on their phones and not paying attention, and I'm like, okay, first off, do you know where we are? Because you speak English. What the fuck is the name of this place?
Right.
And then why are you looking at your phone? Look around. Oh my God. Have you ever seen anything? You couldn't tell me you've ever seen anything that beautiful as Naples, Mount Vesuvius, seriously, with a little mist rising up and the lights of the city at the base of Mount Vesuvius. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
It was magic. So then everyone is texting and saying where they are. So we meet up, and it turns out I was only like maybe a block away from a block and a half in real time, not block by me, to where we had lunch, and everyone was meeting there. So I'm like, you have to come back to this park before the sun goes down all the way. But of course we get there and the sun was down all the way. We come out, and I'm trying to figure out where we are so I could like make a note of it. And I realized we're at this Cloisters place. Next to the church is the Cloisters. And there's this really fun picture of nuns on a swing set. And it said that there was some kind of an exhibition going on for like the next 20 minutes. So we walked through the Cloisters, and it was absolutely beautiful. Of course, 700 years old or some shit. It's all ruins and pretty paintings. And I start walking upstairs because they didn't tell me not to. So I'm like walking up the stairs of the Cloisters and going through any open door I can find. And there's like this exhibit up there, this black and white exhibit, this photography exhibit. Absolutely beautiful, with like these gorgeous views of like Sorrento onto the sea, and like this beautiful breeze coming through. It's all open, and like so everybody's like, oh, I don't want to pay the €3 to get in. I'm like, it's €3 Look at this guy's art and go stand on the balcony overlooking the Tyrian Sea, or Terharian Sea, or whatever the fuck it's called. We walk through. The paintings are beautiful.
It's a great tourist promoter.
Whatever the
here.
fuck that is.
Yeah.
Whatever the
Look
fuck
at it,
that,
it's
you're gonna
pretty.
like it. So there's all these photographs, and they're gorgeous. They're like so iconic and beautiful, of like things in Italy and black and white, and it looks like a goddamn Fellini movie. Like the photography was stunning, and then his main picture that he was selling was these nuns on the swing set, and I'm like, all right, what is this? I'm like,
I feel like I've seen this picture.
yeah, because I
he
posted
posted
it.
Well, I know, but I think I've seen it before that.
Oh, I don't know.
But I know you're like, okay, go ahead. I'll find
So
it.
it's these nuns on the swing set, and he was like, they just came up, you know, of course they're visiting the church. It's the San Francisco church, and he's like, they were just here visiting. They wanted to come up and see the artwork because I'm here all the time, and and there's a swing set, so you can be on this. You're on a porch balcony, 150 feet above the ocean on a cliff, on a swing set between two trees. I mean, it was so goddamn it was retarded. I hate to use that word, but it was so that's wrong, but it was so beautiful. It was just unbelievable to be on this swing. So we were doing it, we were taking the pictures, then they had that weird car. But I told the guy, I'm like, he's like, you can come back in the morning. I'm like, we're leaving. I'm like, but I don't ever want to leave here.
I'm never leaving this place.
So this red car was part of that you're talking about.
It was part of that. He photographed it in different places.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
But
That's so cool.
just that balcony, and there's a picture of the Cat Carlson t-shirt up there. So I'll just tell you two other stories, and then I'll be done with
Well, stuff.
all
We
that
have
shit.
more
Tell me a
pictures.
couple pictures then.
Okay, so here's this one. I thought this one was fun.
The best dinner of my entire life in Rome. Google me, I'll find the name for you. It's written on all the glasses. Jose and Chris had been here the year prior and liked it, recommended it. The restaurant that I had picked wasn't open. We went here. Alice is the waitress. She was a fucking riot. She was one of the funniest people on planet Earth. Great server. Humiliated Chris and just humiliated him into ordering correctly. Just shamed him until he got his order right. She was like, no, because he kept ordering off the menu, and she was like, that would be disgusting if you ate that. The wine was fantastic. The food was beautiful. She was a riot. We were in the best spirits, and we were there for 4.5 hours. We never left. They brought out desserts with messages written in chocolate on the plates. Welcome to Rome. Can't wait to see you again. Please come back. Like,
My gosh.
we were there for like a day.
Oh, sorry. Next picture. Click.
Slide.
Right.
This is along the Amalfi Coast. Like, look, it's just fucking gorgeous. And Sorrento's like up north, like to the back of us.
This one I enjoy because of the expression on your face, which I'll zoom into so you can see, because the look on your face is so funny. If it'll let me do it. Where's my...
This is one of Matt's goddamn pictures. This is at our cute hotel in Rome.
Just look at the look on your face.
He's stunned, Clayton.
Oh,
Look at him.
the
He
beauty.
Is stunned.
I am.
That is so funny. So funny.
Matt takes horrible pictures and then posts them for no reason. And this is in front of what we're assuming is the Supreme Court. On my rainy, rainy day, where every time I went near the Vatican, it would start pouring rain and literally cats and dogs coming out. And every time I would walk away, it would clear up. Finally, on the second attempt, or third attempt, The Vatican was shut tight, and they let me walk by. But this is on one of the bridges in Rome at the Supreme Court. And my day's adventure by myself. So much fun.
And the final picture, which I thought was great. Just you.
Just me. Oh God, what's the Tiber and the Vatican and St. Peter's Basilica in the distance. This was just to see if the hat looked as stupid as I thought it did. But
And the verdict was?
I liked it.
Okay.
I got lost, but I liked it.
Well, that's sad.
So the only story I have to tell you from this: Florence, still where I want to die. Live, die, thrive, eat, breathe. Whatever needs to happen is going to happen in Florence. The first night we were there, I maybe enjoyed something of the gummy variety. Had the most. I ate in a restaurant that I was not cool enough to be in. They should have interviewed me and kicked me out immediately. I was not the right caliber of people that should have been in that restaurant.
No, sir, you cannot stay here.
Then we walked around at night.
That
and
was
we
more.
walked
It was a
through.
little more French.
That's very French.
That was
I can't do it.
Because I felt.
but that's the kind of
I felt the
rudeness-
judgment in that.
Yeah.
Is what I felt.
And that's what you should feel with me in that restaurant. Because it's called the Fishing Lab, and it was just fucking nuts, insane, fantastic. We walked around the city, and I was just blown away. Like, we just walked through that city and all the places, and at night, and there's, like, street musicians just like in New York that are just adding to the tone. And at one point, there was a guitarist at the place with all the sculptures. I was weeping like a small child. Got back to the room, and, like, I don't know, it took 7 hours to eat dinner. So it was, like, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was afraid to go to sleep because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything. Like, I feel like I'm missing something if I go to sleep. I slept for like 2.5 hours and woke up panicked that I had slept through the whole day, and I was crying in my bed like, oh my God, I missed the whole goddamn day. It wasn't even dawn yet, but I got up and got dressed and was like, just go out.
Good for you.
It really was. It was goofy how much I loved that city.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, I slept through it.
I missed the day.
You've been asleep for 60 seconds. Shut the fuck up. And then
like my kids do at Christmas.
The way back to the train was called Ferrovia. And we couldn't figure it out, but like there was things marked on the walls in Venice to show you how to get anywhere that we couldn't see in the dark and the rain and the high tide. The next day, I'm like, okay, we got here based on signs saying we're going to St. Mark's. Why aren't there signs saying how to get back to the train station? Like, that's a major thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at all the signs, and all it kept saying was Ferrovia. And I'm like, all right, in Latin, ferris or ferro is iron. God damn it, it's the way of iron. They named this motherfucker in the 1850s and have never changed the name. Sure enough, the Italian railway is called Ferrovia.
The irons.
So your name
Iron,
is
the Iron Way, the way of via, the way of iron.
Your name is Claudia Train Station, is what you're telling me?
No, railway. So I kept saying Ferrovia, 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 and Jose, who gets mad at me when I speak Spanish to him, was because he's insistent that speak English with him. He understands English, but I sometimes revert to Spanish with him. Well, he just thought it was hysterical when we would both switch to try and speak Italian to each other because it was a fucking disaster. But it just got funnier and funnier, and he was so amused by how I said Ferrovia. And then the next night we were at the Fishing Lab, the restaurant I was not cool enough to be in, and they were yelling at someone in the kitchen named Claudia, and they just kept saying it, Claudia, 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 Claudia. And I'm like, okay, two things. First, Claudia needs to either settle the fuck down or quit. And second, don't they pronounce that beautifully here?
Or maybe she should just fucking answer them. Stop ignoring them, Claudia.
So by the end of it, I'm like, I'm changing my name to Claudia. And it was Claudia Ferrovia. That's what Jose
Claudia
shot back at me. And
Ferrovia.
I'm like, that is set in stone, people. Claudia Ferrovia.
Claudia
So there you go.
Trainwreck.
That's Italy in less than 40 minutes.
But so those are all the high points, all the good things. What was the worst experience of your entire trip?
Coming home. It was 33 hours. There was that blizzard in the East
Well,
Coast.
now you need to tell the little story because I was part of it. So you booked your flights in Rome.
Okay.
And this is where the time change thing gets all fucked up for him.
Here's why I hate clocks.
A new segment on Q Talk. This is why Al hates clocks.
Minding my own business in the Rome
Like you do.
at the airport, enjoying probably a coffee, let's just say it, and maybe an Italian cough drop because I'm polite.
Perhaps.
And they are like, oh no, they're canceling flights out of Philadelphia. And of course, our flight is flying to Philadelphia, so everyone is getting these messages separately.
By the way, this is because of winter weather that just went through the east coast of America. That's why they were doing it.
Now, the only smart person on the plane said, well, if the weather's that bad that we can't fly out of Philadelphia, how the fuck are we flying in?
Mm-hmm.
No one else posed that question but me.
Claudia is the smartest.
I got no answer.
Oh,
But they said, we're boarding, we're going to get there, but once you're there, you're
Stop
fucked.
forever.
So I call American Airlines on the jetway. Like, I'm boarding.
Hello, American. This is Claudia.
Claudia Barovia calling, and I'm telling you, this bitch ain't staying a minute in Philadelphia.
It's just sprinkling.
Yeah.
Call Donatella.
I hope you did it all over in
Done.
the Zsa Zsa Gabor voice, because that'd be fun.
So I said, listen, people of Italy, here's where I'm not staying. Philadelphia in the winter. So I got a flight out of Philadelphia into LA, and they said they were just going to like their hubs. They were going to fly out of Philadelphia to hubs. If you weren't going to a hub, you were waiting till tomorrow or the next time, but whatever window they had was going to hubs. LAX tits, we're good. So then I have to get my flight from LAX to Phoenix. So still on the jetway, still walking down, still being yelled at to hurry, and I'm like, people, I am not getting stuck in Philadelphia, so you settle down. Claudia's got some people to chat with, and then we'll review what to do in a water landing, okay? We all good?
Your seat cushion is a flotation device, blah, blah, blah.
And by now, you all should already know this shit.
Yeah,
Come on.
I know where all
Pull the
6
lever, the
exits
slide
are.
comes
No
out.
surprises.
Yeah.
So I, at 10 a.m. in Rome, book a flight for the next morning from LAX to here. Trouble is, 8 a.m. in LA has not happened yet. So the next morning's flight is 8 a.m. that's already happened for me, but hasn't happened for LA yet.
He's booking it for like an hour and a half later than what it is. Just kind of.
No, I'm booking it.
I don't understand time.
I'm booking it 24 hours later. So it's 10 a.m. in Rome, which makes it 1 a.m. in LA. I ask for the next morning's flight.
Right.
They give me 8 a.m. because 8 a.m. hasn't happened for them.
7
Right,
hours from
right.
now. Right.
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying. He's
on it.
booking a flight. Yes, got it.
I got it. I'm there.
Like a full day before I'm supposed to be
I
there.
jumped in the DeLorean. I know.
So then we travel. We're finally stuck in LA. They finally start opening up the airport because we landed when LAX is at a standstill and no one knows how to get from Terminal B to Terminal A. It's a whole goddamn thing.
3 o'clock in the morning.
And it's a puzzle at that hour because there's no one there.
It's a mess.
So the first thing that happens is the outdoor people, the people that take your baggage outside.
Skycaps.
Skycaps. He takes my luggage and for a slight bribe does not charge me the $25 for it weighing way more than 50 pounds.
Nice.
It was a mini refrigerator in every sense of the word. Then we get through security. The Tide Pods turns out not a problem because the Tide Pods had to come out of the bag as part of the bribe.
Interesting.
They don't scan those. No one cares.
Who
More
cares?
places to hide things that smell funny.
Interesting.
Use your imagination.
Tasty.
Food happens. First thing I get on so I'm through security. Everything's good. I hit earlier flight than 8:30. Like, this can't be the first flight on Southwest. There's a 7:10 flight. So I'm like, perfect. I'll get in even sooner. I get to the desk for the check-in at the first minute you can check in because I'm at the airport so goddamn early. And I'm like, I have 2 flights. One that I'm getting the fuck on and another one that's leaving in an hour and a half. So I need to cancel myself on that flight and get the fuck on this plane because my bags are on here. And she's like, well, you're on this flight, but you missed that flight.
Oops.
I'm like, how did I miss a flight that's in an hour and a half?
Because it was an hour and a half from yesterday.
And she's like trying to explain to me. I'm like, not possible. I booked this flight at 10 a.m. Like, how can I have booked a flight that already left? And then she got the look on her face as I came to work at 5 a.m. and this bitch just came up to me with an algebra problem. So a chicken leaves the coop at 3 and the pineapple falls off the tree at 5. When do they hit the ground together?
The answer is go fuck yourself.
Oh, and she was like, you just gotta call somebody.
Did she really?
Remember Edie McClurg in the movie Planes, Trains, and
You're
Automobiles?
fucked.
When Steve Martin goes up and she does say, I'm in this fucking car right fucking now. I envision that's you, and she just looks at you and says,
But I was very polite because we were both so confused. Like, how can I have missed a flight that hasn't happened yet? And she's like, bitch, you're a day late. Like,
You booked yesterday's flight.
work a
dum-dum.
calendar.
How
So
to
then-
work a calendar.
Then when she got it and she saw like I was pulling out things from Rome and showing her stuff, and she's like, "Oh, it's a time change story." So then we called, we wrote letters, we got it all done. So my letter got rejected for the small refund. It's not a lot I wanted back. I wanted half of a flight back. But I called the next day and like, listen, I know you rejected the letter, and it's because the story makes no goddamn sense in writing. Can I just tell you what happened, and then you make your decision about the refund? And I'm like, and if you look, I've been flying your goddamn airline all the time. You're Southwest Airlines. I live in the Southwest. Hands pretty much tied here.
Right.
Just looking
You're not
for
losing me forever. I'm just looking
Right.
for a little help here.
I'm gonna be irritated
Give me
one
my
day and
$50,
exactly,
right.
be asleep on your next flight. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, that's a weird story that does not come across in writing. It just sounded like you were a day late for a flight." So that was it. So yeah, I was told there'd be no math. So sorry, that was a long involved story, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And the little Montechiello. There was no pictures from there, but Montechiello, little town in Tuscany. Maybe 60 people to 100 people live there year round. It was like being a goddamn Disney princess. It was absolutely stunning, beautiful in the hills of Tuscany, and opening up our wood shutters into cobblestone streets on the top of a hill with it was dumb. And everywhere you turned, you were like, this is just it was enchanted.
Yeah.
And as Harrison said, it was like I found goddamn Brigadoon.
I just watched that recently for no reason too.
And it was just one of those things where you couldn't take it in. Like
Mm-hmm.
I opened up the shutters to my room like Belle from the openings. And I was like, no. This is what pictures look like. Like real places that I'm in don't look like this. Gorgeous. So
Well, there's that.
I didn't do Pray Love, but I did a lot of eating.
I'm sure you
That's
did.
really the most important part anyway.
So
Sure.
sorry. So sorry about a travel log.
No, we get those once a year every time you go somewhere.
Oh.
It's all right.
Clayton McKee, 2 weeks off. What'd you do with your time?
For those of you listening, we're still in the same segment. We haven't left it yet, but we're about to change segments. Figured out some stuff, with life. Decided that I'm back to that crying at everything thing, and I don't know why, but I do.
Menopause.
I don't know. No, I should have gone through that already.
Huh?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe not.
And still, we're looking at the fact that I'm no longer middle-aged because somebody said,
You're
you're
gonna be.
48.
You're gonna live to be
How
105.
fucking old do you think you're going to be? Like, clearly.
What's that line from Postcards from the Edge? How many 96-year-old women do you know?
More 96-year-old women than men.
How's my math?
And then just continually looking for new opportunities in life. We'll see how that all goes. And now we're back to this. So let's do this, shall we?
Oh no, we need obsessions.
No. We already
no time, no
we're
time.
done. No.
I have no entertainment. I want to do obsessions.
We're
Save
gonna-
it for entertainment.
Come on, really?
I'm crestfallen.
Bad Bunny, you're a bad bunny.
Hair dryers and chicken.
Did not prepare.
Phone in timeout for 50 years.
Owls of laughter.
Still same place.
And duct taped pole gets replaced. These and apparently
and some stories.
it's some stories that Al's just gonna make up because he can. Oh, for crying
Good
out
call.
loud.
Do we have time to make a cocktail?
Oh, sure you do.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing a full break. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the second hour after this.
We've all got places to go. We've all got places to go.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
And we're back for what now is hour 2. If you missed the first hour, basically it was a travel log
With a view.
Everything Al's done the past 2 weeks out of the country. But it was a good time. And Kat just made a new cocktail. Because, that's what Kat does. She's a mixologist, for those of you that don't know. So she was muddling something in the kitchen. Am I got Al? What is wrong with you? Is there allergies?
Allergy season.
Take Zyrtec. That's what I've been doing. I'm perfect. I got everything good. My little cough is gone. Everything's back to normal. Anywho. Oh, I forgot I have to do this. I gotta take that off so you can see us. There's that. Anywho, hour 2's coming right now. We got a little bit of headlines coming up a little bit later. Maybe some obsession stuff and entertainment, but now...
Oh, definitely obsessions. I have a real obsession.
Oh, he has one. All right. Well, a woman in Ohio was arrested Saturday after allegedly getting drunk and making lewd comments to an Easter Bunny impersonator at a park. And I like the fact that the story had to say Easter Bunny impersonator.
Right.
Because there's a real one somewhere.
Ain't nothing.
And number 2, who hasn't gotten drunk and abused an Easter Bunny interpreter?
I'd like to know who hasn't gotten drunk and been in a bunny costume. Because I figure if your life is impersonating these things at a mall, like Bad Santa,
Probably
like
drunk the
Bad
whole
Bunny.
time. Yeah.
Anyway, the Mansfield Police Department said they were called to the Richland Carousel Park after receiving a complaint that LaDonna Hewitt, age 54, appeared to be intoxicated while having her picture taken with said Easter Bunny. Hewitt was said to have made lewd comments to the bunny, then took a ride on a carousel. The incident took place at the Carousel Park in the city's downtown area, located about 80 miles south of Cleveland, Ohio. The 54-year-old, quote, showed common signs of intoxication. Police said that these signs included slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, an odor of alcohol in her breath, along with a general sense of unsteadiness. She was arrested on drunkenness charges and taken to the Richland County Jail. At press time, there was not a listing of legal representation for her or the bunny.
Again, who hasn't gotten drunk and said, let's go take a picture with the
I
Easter
really-
Bunny, and then had it turn horribly wrong?
When I saw this headline, what I was praying for was that there was a video or at least audio of whatever the hell she was saying to the bunny, because I think that would be fantastic. What do you need, paper?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
No, just maybe write something down.
Okay, well, here. Give a pen?
Yeah.
God, you can bring...
Just came to me.
Oh, okay, got it.
Wow. Inspiration, you got to open the pen.
Ms. Carlson.
Well, there were hoots of laughter from guests at a recent wedding when an owl that was supposed to be delivering the rings instead attacked one of the best men. All seemed well when the bird of prey flew down the aisle and landed on the arm of the first best man. But after a brief pause, the owl turned on the second best man, knocking him off his seat, drawing gasps and laughter from the wide-eyed guests. Quote, the best man's reaction when he fell off the seat and the crowd erupting into laughter was just great. For some reason, the owl just decided he wanted to go for him, and he was just terrified.
Oh.
Yeah. He was absolutely petrified of anything that flies, the wedding photographer says.
Yes. And an owl they got
They're
wingspans of like
fucking big.
25 feet.
First of all, who does this? The barn owl, which they're pretty big owls, was hired as the ring bearer at this wedding.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
After accosting the best man, the owl perched on the table used for signing the wedding register and glowered at the congregation.
Wait, glowered?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever used that word on the show, glowered?
Yeah.
I'm going to drink to it.
Okay.
No, fair.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed.
Absolutely.
Here's to your glower.
Up your glower.
Yeah. I'm glowering at you, baby.
Come on.
Do what you gotta with it.
Mr. Bunny. Mr. Owl.
Oh.
Fucker.
The photographer continues and says it was one of the best moments I've ever seen.
I don't know a lot about the owl, but I'm a fan.
I am a fan.
She says one of my friends had an owl ring bearer. Apparently this is a thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, I guess it is.
Stop.
And unfortunately,
Stop. Straight people are getting married wrong.
Sometimes it goes afoul.
Yeah. Oh, I did not laugh at that. I would like that redacted. I'd like to reclaim my time.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
I was a proud woman just recently. Gone.
In any event.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is a thing that happened.
Stop.
It happened
You
this
can't.
time and was hilarious. It happened another time and everything went according to plan. Why has this happened more than
Rogue
once? Is
owls.
what I want to know.
Rogue owls.
Right. Who could?
What's the headline of this story? What's it called?
People do fucked
Owls
up
of
things.
Laughter as winged ring bearer attacks best man.
Okay.
From the
That
Guardian.
would get my attention. I gotta
still-
say,
I
well,
think-
well played, Guardian.
I think Ring Bearer Gone Afoul would have been a better. That's just
that would've
me.
been lovely.
That's
All
just
right,
me.
listen to me, good people of Earth.
No, wait a minute.
Don't
I
hire
need to do
large
something?
birds of prey. No, that's my thoughtful vulgarity question for the end. I was afraid I'd forget it.
Don't forget it.
You can't even read it, but I know what it says.
Okay, good. I'll show this to you later because I don't.
I wrote it in code.
But did you
Wow.
remember your decoder ring?
No, he doesn't. We're gonna need a box of honeycombs to figure it out.
I need to have a meeting later where somebody brings me a decoder ring.
Yeah, maybe a stop drinking token. All right, continue on.
Would you like a mojito?
I just need to stop drinking this. Okay. So, remember a couple of years ago, last year, recently? I went to college for
Would
this.
you like to pick a time frame?
No.
On a
Any one
day
of them.
sometime before today.
Right now,
In a world.
moments
yes.
ago or a decade ago.
But remember the kid got decapitated on the water slide? Well, as a water slide
What is happening?
enthusiast,
Oh yes, you are.
I do follow the water slide deaths quite closely. I mean, not with the accuracy of the opioid crisis, but it's pretty
Right.
close.
Laser focused.
Yeah, we are laser focused.
Sure.
This is more like lazy-eyed focused. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see them right now.
Let's look at the bridge of his nose. You're
So,
safer.
two designers of a massive water slide in Kansas on which a 10-year-old boy was decapitated face second-degree murder charges in connection with the child's death. So, the cops don't get indicted for stuff, but these motherfuckers do. The indictment of Jeffrey Henry, who was also a co-owner of the, Schlitterbahn Water Park.
Oh, I remember
is
now.
not called
I remember
this.
now because it's the
Schlitterbahn.
Schlitterbahn. I do recall this story because of that name.
And John Schooley brings to 3 the number of people...
Schlitterbahn and Schooley.
Yeah.
I don't think I was here that week.
Brings to 3 the number of people indicted in the case. The construction company involved in designing and building the what the fuck is going on in Virginia or Kansas? The Verrucht Ride, the world's tallest water slide, was also charged with reckless second-degree murder, according to the indictment unsealed Tuesday. Tyler Austin Miles, the former director of operations and the water park itself, were charged last week with involuntary manslaughter, according to an indictment unsealed Friday. So, I mean, it's just...
I need to know how the kid got decapitated. It wasn't from the water.
No, he was decapitated when the raft and the 2 women were strapped into went airborne.
Oh.
So they hit some air.
Got it. Caught
and
air.
Then they just kind of got decapitated by
As something going over their head.
So the part that you're missing is the 2 girls in the back had a free head for the rest of the ride.
Wow.
Sorry,
You-
my volume.
I
She's
mean,
watching porn.
we usually recommend you
That
shipping
was
the
some
head
uplifting
separately
porn right there.
due to its weight.
Oh. You don't want your bag to be overweight.
Right. So
So the Schlitterbahn.
So it's just this deadly ride that I guess no one ever thought that 3 people, skinny people, would ever get on it. Like, I don't understand.
Oh, that's the reason, because they were too light. It caught air.
Yeah, it was designed for verrückt, which means insane in German.
Yeah,
Wow.
because it is.
I like how you're following up on his story and you got more going than he does. I appreciate this.
Team effort.
Yeah.
No. Team effort.
It's good to be a helper.
Yeah, it is.
Mr. Rogers says, look for the helper.
Sometimes it's a reach
Here I am.
around, but still.
Whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it
takes. The insane water slide requires 2 to 3 riders to be strapped into a raft with a total weight between 400 and 500 pounds. So if lighter folks,
Right.
the math is not going to work for them because it was designed for 400 to 500 pounds on that raft.
Mm-hmm. No, he laid
Caleb
down.
is the deceased's name. He was decapitated when the raft he and 2 women were strapped into went airborne and collided with the overhead hoops.
Why are there overhead hoops? Anybody ever ask that question?
Because you usually go through a
Stability.
tunnel.
Ah, bingo.
Yeah, you got to keep it all together.
Wow.
What else?
So you're charged with involuntary was it involuntary manslaughter? I would assume.
Second
But I
degree
would
murder.
think it wouldn't be the designer so much as the person that let
let them go. Right,
The 3 people get on the ride, they're like, you're all skinny.
right. We're gonna need
Or
some.
whoever said, check the weight.
Yeah.
Like if 3 skinny people come up, one of them's got to find a fat friend.
Yeah, but there's an indictment here that notes that
But the
What-
park was indicted,
well,
so
no,
that's part of it.
and in the indictment, one of the key designers, quote, possessed no technical or engineering credentials and yet controlled many key decisions in the design.
Oh, there you go.
So this is, I mean, it's just negligence. We didn't do our math.
It's like somebody trying to run the government who's never been in it before and has no idea how it works, but is just left at the helm.
Listen, it doesn't matter what it is. Always check the other person's math.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I checked my mother's math today because she was wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, we're planning like a summer vacation, and so we're like splitting housing and everything because we rented a beach house and
Well, like my grandfather always said, it's like measure twice, cut once.
right,
Yeah.
Figure it out first.
right.
But I've never tried to build a water slide.
And I was delighted to
Maybe
point out,
that's-
Mom,
Maybe that'll be my
missed
my
one.
thing for this summer. Maybe
Not
I'll
100% sure your police work there.
build a water slide in my spare time. Who knows?
maybe,
What's going on?
maybe.
Or maybe not. Anyhow.
Clayton, something you'd like to tell us in a story?
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell another story.
There was a cover-up too.
Oh, do tell.
Carry on.
This is a 2020.
Well, according to the indictment, when Caleb's death appeared to be at first an isolated and unforeseeable incident, park employees then came forward and revealed that Schlitterbahn officials had covered up similar incidents in the past involving the water slide.
Oh.
It's a whole fucking thing.
There's a lot of that coming out in news lately. A lot of different things where you pull one thread of the sweater, and then come to find out there's five other threads out there that everybody's been wanting to tug for a long time, and then the whole fucking thing just falls apart. Well, in a modern day horror story, a 2-year-old child input an incorrect passcode on an iPhone so many times
Oh no.
that the device became locked for 47 years. And I don't know if you all realize this, if for those of you who have a lot of electronic devices, if you incorrectly put the passcode in, it will give you a timeout. It starts at a small amount, then it will increase and
Please
increase.
try again in
and
1 minute.
Right. Now, I don't know if this is the same for all different brands and makes and models of phones, but I know an iPhone does it. So basically, he got it, he entered it so many times that it locked it for 47 years, rendering it basically useless for its owner. Well, that's the scenario now facing a Shanghai mother identified only as Miss Lu by the Chinese news, who reports her toddler unfortunately took the time allotted to watch educational videos on the phone and instead began the process of disabling the device, basically forever for her. According to the news reports, Miss Lu waited for 2 months to see if the situation would improve. I'm going to guess it improved by 2 months. So now it's 46 years, 10 months.
Clock just keeps going up.
But the phone remained locked. She says, I couldn't really wait for 47 years until my grandchild it was your father's mistake, she reportedly said. The alternative mode was accessing the phone, the alternative mode to of accessing the phone is to wipe it with a factory reset, which is why you should always keep your data backed up. iPhones can become locked after 6 failed attempts at inputting a passcode on the lock screen, and the amount of time for which the phone is locked can compound with ongoing attempts to try to break into the phone. So for all parents out there, may be careful for letting your kids loose with your phone. The little ones like to just touch buttons. They don't know what they're doing.
They don't. Or do they?
And this is assuming that you want us to be able to use your phone at some point. It's been a long time. I had done that one time, and it's like 15 minutes or whatever,
Oh.
but that was years and years ago.
First of all, stop letting your children use your damn phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point.
There are affordable
Gadgets.
devices for them to use.
That they're not making prank phone
Right.
calls to your boss.
Buy those.
Like a fire alarm. Give them one of those.
$40 will get you a Kindle Fire. It gets them all the shit that they need, and it's not your damn phone.
Yes, true.
It drives me insane. Every time I see somebody just hand their phone over to their child, I'm like, do you hate money?
or an iPad that has no, or something that has no lock on it.
Right.
Do you hate money? It's a good question.
Well, speaking of gone too far, I like examples of the internet just being the internet. Here's what's happened. A food writer has wowed Twitter with her unusual and expensive approach to achieving a perfectly crispy skin on a roast chicken. Now, you know how important that
we have
crispy
talked
skin
about
is.
that so many times on this cooking
Laser
show.
focused. Laser focused on that chicken skin. Well, a woman by the name of Helen Rossner, who's a food writer for The New Yorker, has uploaded a photo of herself using a $400 Dyson supersonic hairdryer to blow dry her chicken.
What?
That's right. That's how she's
Oh
getting
God,
that
is there?
crispy skin.
I gotta look for a picture. See if there's
The
a pic-
caption says, "Happy snow day. I am using an astonishingly expensive hair dryer to remove all moisture from a chicken to maximize skin crispiness when I roast it." It earned her 1,600 likes and 100 comments. She went on to share the recipe for her roasted chicken, but fans were more interested in the first stage of her process, the hair dryer. For crisp skin, whether you're cooking a chicken or a duck or a fish, you want there to be as little water moisture, as opposed to other parts of moisture, as possible. Which is sped up by a fan, and that's all a hairdryer really is, a handheld fan that you could pretty easily bring into the kitchen.
What the fuck?
I know. I thought this would be good for a cooking show.
How to cook a chicken with a blow dryer.
As it turns out,
like this. Here's an example.
right, as it turns out, she's not the first to use a hairdryer to rid excess moisture on meat before cooking. Isn't she? Helen credits cookbook author Marcella Hayes
Helen.
as the originator of the idea in the 70s. But she's probably the first to use a luxury hair tool for the process. Fortunately, a $400 dryer is not necessary to get crispy chicken.
Oh my God!
You could use any hair dryer on the chicken, even one that doesn't have a cool setting, although it'll smell a little chickeny.
A little chickeny.
That is fantastic.
Oh.
Is that chickeny?
No, but your hair dryer
Hair dryer's
gonna
gonna
be
be chickeny.
Yeah.
Then the next day you do your hair and people are like, somebody cooking? Somebody cooking out somewhere?
I'd like some hot sauce.
No.
What's that about?
You smell broiled. Smell a little broiled.
Oh, internet.
Well, you've seen those hot air cooking things. They set a whole chicken in, it rotates, and it's all hot air, fancy cooking, no oil.
The Ronco rotisserie, the set it and forget it.
I don't know if it's Ronco, but it's one of those commercials
I
like
loved
that.
that commercial.
It's the same lady
That
that, has
one
all
went
the.
on for a long
she's got all
time.
the copper pots, the no stick, no this, no that, and then when you get them, they don't do anything.
Just a regular
all
pot,
that
turns
stuff.
out.
Yeah.
I have a very brief last headline.
Oh, I have another little story that I had. We got all kinds of time.
So it's March Madness.
Madness.
So guess
that's a
what
basketball
procedure?
thing.
Guess what procedure is popular during March Madness?
Layups.
What procedure? A medical procedure.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to assume this is. Oh no! Wait a minute.
Enemas.
Oh yeah. Wait. Are we going? Ugh. I'm going to go for women. It could be.
Fair too.
No. Oh, okay. No, I was going to go for women. It would be any type of cosmetic surgery because their husband isn't going to give a shit about it.
Oh.
One. Number two, I'm going to go
You're on
with,
the right track.
I'm going to go with vasectomies for men.
Yep, it's the winner
Oh, got it.
because they're told to recover just sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Just don't move and do a lot of activities.
So it turns out
That's funny. Boys are dumb.
many urologists see a spike in that procedure in March. Some clinics even advertise that it's the perfect time. You simply need to recover on the couch, doctor's orders, but it's not so painful that you can't watch the TV with a little beer. So it turns out this is a nationwide story almost yearly at this time of year that people are like, cut them off. I want to watch TV for a week. I only
Boys
get
are
one chance.
dumb.
Boys are dumb.
Boys are dumb. In so many ways. Absolutely.
That would be the worst way, though. No, fantasy football. Oh, judges.
Worse than that, fantasy baseball.
Oh, judges. Oh, yeah. That's,
God, is there fantasy everything?
Yeah.
Is there? Wow.
Oh, yeah. There's a
there-
RuPaul fantasy league. Are you
Oh,
playing? Are you
you're
playing?
100% correct. There is. I see it every week.
Oh.
There is.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Clock
we,
the phrase.
as gays,
I almost joined.
have sunk so low.
It's the straight people that brought it to us.
But we could have closed
But
the
they've
door.
stolen so much from us.
No.
I mean, in fairness, we took
But we
one
used to walk
fantasy.
away from that kind of shit. We didn't embrace it.
Yeah, but that's... Well, then they took
Listen.
over... They also are coming to our bars and shit. And we're like, fuck that.
I gave somebody a big lecture on this just this weekend. Inclusivity goes two directions.
I know.
Goes two directions.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about
Yeah.
it.
If you're
Next
gonna have-
thing you know, there's going to be a gay guy being chased down the aisle by an owl.
And they're going to call it Hooters.
It's a dark, dark day in America.
The dark and stormy nights.
It's always good when you
Fucking
bring them full
cashews.
circle.
Oh, I made it funny.
Really?
I said Stormy Night. What's her name? Stormy Daniels. Wrong person.
Oh.
Oh my
So
God.
close.
Did you see, and I've got it recorded Have you caught up on any SNL?
I have them all recorded.
Did you see Kate McKinnon do Betsy
Oh,
DeVos?
no.
Oh, yes.
Priceless.
That
Did
made
she
it-
do it word for word?
Oh God, it
'Cause I'm
was
sure she
so
could've.
so funny. She and I've determined she can literally be anybody.
Two things that made it across the sea. The Betsy DeVos interview in every language made it
Oh
across
right, the
to
60
Italy.
minutes one.
but
Right,
The
right.
60 Minutes interview, and so did Kate McKinnon.
Doing her.
And the firing of McCabe, was
Yeah.
that his name?
Yeah.
Oh, we
The
watched
guy
that.
2 days before his pension.
We watched that all over the train.
Actually, it was
stations in Europe.
23 hours.
Yeah, that's going to court.
Oh, sure it is.
Wow.
And he can appeal that and all
He's
that
got a
stuff.
pretty good chance.
Oh, and
I
Joe,
feel like.
some boring night in front of the fire. I will tell you all about high-speed trains and hitting 151 miles an hour on a train.
Sure.
He can't wait.
I don't blame him.
So anyway, Kate McKinnon. If you Google it, find it. It was
But
so
it did.
funny.
Some,
She's on.
some things made it across, and your
We
internet
voted.
changes
We
to
think she's
Italian.
America's best lesbian. Kate McKinnon. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, the committee meets every Wednesday, and we took a vote,
Okay.
and Kate McKinnon is America's
His
best lesbian.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's ABL.
I didn't realize she was.
It's fair.
She is.
Oh,
Oh,
I-
yeah. Oh yeah.
No
Oh my
idea.
God, yeah.
Had no
Recently
idea.
voted upon, and then
Right.
won.
By
Did-
the committee.
Does she get a? What does she
We
get?
meet on
Crocs or a
Wednesdays.
Subaru? I don't know what she.
I
What do you
think
get?
it's still a toaster oven,
Oh, is it
but
just, just a general gay?
No,
Yeah.
that's the straight girl conversion prize. Is the toaster oven.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I didn't know.
Didn't
Yeah.
realize.
Yeah.
This time it's a trip to Coachella
Had a tie-dyed shirt
and 1 day's cleaning of your trailer.
that you took to Coachella.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
You gotta
Very
drive
good.
it, yeah.
You
Well,
gotta drive the
speaking,
RV out.
well,
You gotta-
speaking of poles getting replaced,
Just that one day.
here's your segue for you. Crews have replaced a telephone pole in Providence, Rhode Island, that was being held together by duct tape. WJR-TV reports the pole was split in two several weeks ago when it was struck by a truck. A crew with the National Grid used tape to hold the pole together, and a supervisor with the utility deemed it safe for short-term use.
America's second best lesbian lives on that street.
She may be part of the National Grid Company. A permanent repair was scheduled for next week, but the pole was replaced Friday after a resident expressed concerns about its safety. I don't know what happened. I would like to know more about this story. I'd like to see a picture of said pole wrapped in duct tape.
Be careful with your Googling on that, though.
Yeah.
I think you're not
I'd
going
like
see
to
what
see
you
a
want to
pole
see.
wrapped
Pole
in
wrapped in
duct
tape.
tape. Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Oh, speaking of which, okay, here's a segue. Duct tape. Are you all caught up on the
Here's a segue.
Are you all caught up on the assassination of Gianni Versace? Have you watched it to the end?
No, I didn't
No.
watch any.
And I'm not going to share everything. Well, he dies in the end. I get that part.
Oh.
It was so wonderfully
Now
done.
you spoil it for
Yeah.
me.
It's yeah. Well, we knew Versace died, but I mean the other kid dies. But it was done really well, and I had forgotten how long he spent there in plain sight, basically, and I just had forgotten that part of the story.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was really good. But the duct tape made me think of that because of he wraps everybody in duct tape before he kills them, or mostly. Just weird. Weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about Darren Criss for the whole remainder of the show. I'm like,
he's
I
fantastic.
think I've got 4 more to go. I fell way behind on TV, just working too much before I left, and then
I don't know where you dropped off, what episode, but like when have you got to the part where his dad leaves the country?
yeah, and then like episode 5.
Okay. I think there's 9 episodes of it, I think. But no, it's so good. And I'm going to be very curious to see, because that would be an Emmy contender, correct? Because it was all television.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be very curious to see if he gets noms for Emmys.
And Ryan
Murphy?
Murphy has a great reputation with the Academy. So usually everybody at least gets nominated for their work with his shows.
And he told a charming story on, I forget which one of the late night shows it was on, that during filming at one point they were all at Ricky Martin's house, and Ricky was trying to make it all very accommodating for everybody. So at one point he's sitting in a room with, I'm going to get his name wrong, the guy who plays Gianni. He's with Penelope Cruz, Ricky Martin. I don't know if Ryan Murphy was there or not. Darren Criss is there with the guitar because they used to get together and like sing and do just fun stuff as a cast. And Ricky Martin, to make it just fun for everybody, brought in a crew and they all got pedicures. So he's like, Darren Criss is like, I'm in a room. I started by doing a stupid musical in high school about Harry Potter.
Right.
And now I'm sitting in a room with all of these people getting pedicures, playing guitar, singing.
Yeah, and I'm singing for my dinner.
Yeah.
And the fact is, like, I mean, how lovely would it be to hear Darren Criss on guitar harmonizing with Ricky Martin,
Sure,
who's got a
right.
beautiful voice.
Right.
I
So-
mean, Ricky Martin didn't get everywhere on looks. He's got the talent to back that up singing wise. Like,
Yeah. But anyway, then I started
clear,
Googling.
I was in my spank bank for a second. Excuse me.
Oh, wow.
Thinking about that.
I
Little.
thought the bank was closed at this hour of the night.
That's all right. I got distracted because breaking news
Oh.
on the Facebook.
Oh, please do tell.
Apparently, there's a video that we have to watch after the show entitled "Jeremy Jordan performs She Used to Be Mine" from Waitress.
Shut up.
Are you kidding? Stop the show.
People trying to kill me.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
And so I can read it. Jeremy Jordan. She used to be mine.
Yeah, she used to be mine.
She used traditional spelling.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do to be.
Well, you can't go traditional spelling because I just learned how to spell the word massage.
Massage.
this week.
That's what you learned also in the past 2 weeks.
I loved that.
How have I never seen it? I've been a member of Massage Envy.
Message envy.
Message envy, right.
I
I
thought
thought he was just
all-
texting people.
I really thought you had to get it from context clues and a slight exaggeration of the pronunciation of massage. Like, I thought you got it at the end. No clue.
Yeah.
It's on, like, and then we went through all of the times I have written reviews of messages
Okay.
and my fondness for
This
licensed message therapists. I've been misspelling this word everywhere.
For a long time.
And not from someone who's, like, doesn't use them. Oh, no. I have a chain of texts from this kid that was going to massage school where I ask him what days he's free to, like, fill me in for messages. And that motherfucker
And he responded.
Never corrected
never
you?
once corrected
Well, no,
me.
the customer's always right. He's not
No.
gonna.
You correct them when they're being stupid.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, and here we're going to end this right now.
Oh,
Are you ready?
Stand by. We're ending something.
Mark the time.
Time of death.
8:42.
If you are ever encountered by some just prick that tells you it's pronounced mozzarella or prosciutto, they're fucking idiots.
They're probably from New Jersey.
They're probably from somewhere awful.
New Jersey.
Could
the
you have told us we were
Italians-
going to do a cheese segue? I wasn't ready for
The
this, and the
Italians
listeners weren't ready either.
pronounce every letter. They pronounce the whole diphthong. So saying 5 takes a week and a half. There is no such thing as those words. So I asked two different tour guides. I'm like, if someone says that to you, what do you think? He's like, that they don't know how to speak Italian. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for answering my question. Because my cousin last summer was a dick about it. Well, you probably call it mozzarella, but we call it mozzarella. And I'm like, fuck you. So I checked with Italian people. It's mozzarella. Maybe it's not mozzarella. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to put the accent may not be on the A. But it's not mozzarella.
I'm glad we got through that
Oh, I'm
altogether.
so bitter for so long about that shit.
See, and I find it hilarious because my favorite mispronouncer lives in my house.
Oh.
Which one of your family?
Sharon.
Oh, okay.
Clearly, yeah.
Well, you know.
And she gets real mad because I tell her Spanish
She
accent's
gets real-
awful.
Off.
You're Italian? Mm-mm. Well, but my family's Italian. I don't care who
No.
they are. That's not how you say any of this shit. None of those sounds or any of that.
Okay.
And then worse yet, the oldest just following her right down that road. It's awful.
But it is bruschetta. That part's right. There is a K sound in that.
Interesting.
That part's right. I gotta give them that. But there is no mozzarella. There is no prosciutto. They
Okay.
pronounce every goddamn letter in that sentence, and that's why it's bruschetta, because there's a fucking C in there, and you don't not pronounce anything.
That seems
And if
smarter.
and if it's CCH, then it's a K. Then you're on Montechiello. Like, what the hell, people?
Well, it's like the one. Is it the Chianti? It's
Exactly.
not Chianti.
Uh-huh.
It's Chianti.
Some fava
Look at me.
beans.
Look at me making wine references.
Look at you,
Look, aren't you
go.
proud?
Claudia Farovia is very proud of you.
I need some mozzarella.
We should have made Claudia Farovia the drinking word, because now I'm drunk enough to say it. I mean, I did scream it out 4 or 5 times at Postino, but they didn't know what they were
They don't
listening
even
to.
know. Why would they know? They don't need to know that.
It's a Southern Sicilian American butchering. There you go.
Thanks, Jenny.
It feels about right.
Oh, but I forget. Were you in? You weren't in Sicily, were you?
No, that's the island now.
Picture it.
Yeah, that's what I was. Did you have an opportunity to go picture it, Sicily,
We did
1922?
it for everywhere else, though.
Oh, did you?
We were good.
Oh, got it.
Gabagool.
Yes, there's that. Do you have anything to even make up for entertainment? Because I'd like to tease that before we do another.
No obsessions.
You want to do obsessions now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Clearly, I only prepared for one segment. Don't deny me it. Well, I mean, I knew what I did with the last couple of weeks.
Right.
Especially with the slideshow.
We can do anything we want. It's our show.
Yeah.
It's your show.
Oh, that's right. How did I not know that? As I walked into the studio just off of my kitchen. I know. Okay, well then let's try.
I would have gone with clues.
Then let's try this.
Context.
Obsession. Are you obsessed? Is it keeping you up at night? Do you find yourself constantly making references only to be met with blank stares? Obsession. This segment is for you. Obsession. Whether it's musicals, mowers, Motown, Subarus, or Sondheim, it's time to share your obsession. Obsession. With the show with Clayton McKee.
Wait, so we're doing this right now?
Yeah. Well, that's why I played the intro.
It's her traditional response.
It was a shitty production meeting.
Okay, so my obsession is a late to the party, but so glad I got their obsession. I have finally signed on to the Goldbergs.
Oh.
I can't. First of all, I can't stop watching. Every time I turn on the TV.
Fucking giving, Murray.
I've got all kinds of other shit like stacking up on my watch list, and I keep just 20 minutes at a time going through the Goldbergs. And as it turned out, like I didn't realize, I'm Adam's age.
Right.
Like, his memories are my memories.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Oh, that's
ridiculous.
Funny. That's funny.
Yeah, he was born in 76. I'm 78, so I'm Adam.
Right.
And had some of the same costumes, as it turns out.
And that show is so
delightful. Cute and funny and just the right amount of heartwarming and nostalgic. And I'm not very nostalgic, but...
And there's that one segment that they say no laughs here.
Yeah.
You will only... There's the one segment of every show that just has the feels.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize the same lesson every week, but you're so enchanted by it because as soon as you think, oh, come on, we've seen this before, then they show you the home video that goes along with the memory, and you're like, it's so sincere.
I just passed the New Kids on the Block episode.
In KOTB?
It's the...
I had the pillowcase.
I have not gotten the fever.
I've literally had some of the clothing that they wear. Fucking Brock, that I work with at Cobalt, he sends me a message. Apparently, he was watching it, and he said, oh my God, I had that shirt, and then pulled it out of his closet.
Oh, I applaud that. You still got it.
I went over to pick up some mannequins at his house, and he's like, don't ask.
Yes. You knew where I was going.
And he like pulls it out, and he's like, see, this is the shirt. It still fits. And fucking put it on.
Well, yeah, that one, he could fit in anything he had in high school.
Literally.
I can just stand and look at it.
Yeah.
Look at that sweater.
It's just a memory.
I'm pretty sure anything that old I've
Same
already
here.
set on fire twice and abandoned completely.
I think the only thing I still have is I had some old T-shirts, but my concert choir sweater, my red sweater. It's the only thing I still have.
I think all I have from high school is a box of photos and a yearbook. Like, everything else has been burned.
Oh, from actual high school, yeah, box of pictures in a yearbook. And then I saved in the whole like cleansing of the house last year, I saved my favorite shirt from the 80s and my favorite shirt from the 90s.
Oh. Good thing it was two different shirts.
Yeah, it's kind of like a time capsule, you know what I mean?
Oh,
to be
I see.
this is my personal...
Were they both green?
No, one was so cool. From the 80s.
Was it silk?
I think we're going to need a picture at some point of this.
Oh, yeah. I'll take a picture.
Okay.
It's pink overall, but it's hard to tell that it's pink because it's queens. It's the playing card queen, the queen of
hearts,
all the different suits.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Just laid out over top of it. So it's in the picture, not the actual, like they're not laid on there. It's an actual fabric.
Don't
but
look up queen sweater. See what you get.
But it's a short sleeve pink shirt that just has the queen of every suit all over it, and it's so cool. And I wore it for the art festival in Buffalo in the 80s, the Allentown Art Festival.
And what was the 90s shirt?
The 90s shirt was this one from Vancouver, and it's this woven, beautiful, glistening, like mother of pearl shirt. It really is pretty. It got me laid a couple times.
Then it was worth every penny.
I had to tell people, I'm like, I'm not as cute as their shirt. When this shirt comes off, dream's over.
Too bad.
Lights down.
Yeah.
Lights out. Okay, so now you're ready for the entertainment segment.
No, obsession.
We didn't do your obsession yet. We were still on me.
Oh, we're still on you?
We went.
I have lost complete time of all this.
We went
show.
from my obsession with the Goldbergs to the story about Brock and the shirt.
Oh, that's how we got to you.
To shirt.
God damn it.
to nostalgia,
All
to
right.
things that we kept. Right, carry on.
Is that your only obsession? Because sometimes you have more than one.
I feel like I had a way better one, like on the way here, but I don't remember it. So
Okay.
can't have been that good.
All right.
I don't know.
Can't have been. I enjoyed that.
Couldn't have.
Can't have been that good.
I have been, in my week back, obsessed, lost my mind over, gone another way and back over Schitt's Creek. Cannot.
I'm behind. Don't spoil it.
Too late.
Don't do not.
How far? I mean, how close are you?
2 episodes.
So, what songs are important to you at this point?
Just one.
Which one?
Which one?
The first one, duh.
Which one's that?
Which one's? Yeah.
I like how we're tag teaming you now. Like it's-
Hang on, let me get
Is
to
it the
page.
acapella version of Simply the Best?
Yeah, at
Okay.
the open mic thing
Right,
and
right.
the end.
All right.
You'll tell me if I should pull the fire alarm, won't you?
So, I'm not spoiling
Right.
anything by saying
Better not.
my theory of why he picked the best to sing. Already take notes.
I'm not taking notes.
I would.
Yeah, 2 episodes because I saw the barbecue too.
Okay. So
Oh,
you're
yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're really only like 1 episode behind.
2.
Maybe 2.
Sure.
Okay.
The jazz guy and the
So-
gesture.
It all comes back to Moira. And
As it should.
I think that in her 80s heyday when she was giving birth to children, namely David,
David.
she was obsessed with Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm.
And she probably listened to, because she's the right age. It's the story of an older woman coming back, finding her fame. And I think like the age just works out right for Catherine O'Hara / Moira, that would be a very like big moment for her, like the Tina Turner comeback of a woman in her 40s or late 40s, early 50s coming back and having this huge career later in life would have really played well with Moira, and she would have really listened to the shit out of the best, because that's like 6 or 7 years later. So she'd have already bought into, this is the obsession, I mean, I've thought about it this much, she would have bought into the Tina Turner story so much that when the best came out, that song would have just rung a bell with her. And like all of us that have songs that their mom liked, David has been probably listening to Tina Turner his whole life without really even knowing it, like just dragged along on the mom songs like Me with Julie Andrews, like she listens to it all the goddamn time, I Have No Power. And then he probably still listens to Tina Turner even if he doesn't mean to, like he probably like turns it up on the radio or like finds it on Apple Music or something. Like when the Tina Turner comes on, he goes a little bit harder. And I'm thinking that's what the boyfriend heard, was that he liked that song. Like it just makes sense that David would like the best. Like it would follow from his childhood. Like that song would just kind of follow him as like a great love song because the lyrics are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now what I feel like I need to do, and Dan Levy, as you're listening to this show, and I know you are,
Why wouldn't
I think
he?
I need to isolate this little bit of audio, and we need to submit this to Dan and give him your hypothesis of why he wrote this and find out if there is an underlying backstory to Moira and Patrick. I can remember their names.
Oh, we should tweet it at him.
Exactly.
I really don't think there is. I think they just found a song that fit, and I found a way. Like I think they found a song they could afford,
And you wrote the backstory for it?
and it just fit. Like why does that song make?
Because where would Patrick have ever learned this?
But it would be like, you know how you're like around someone all the time and eventually you're like, oh, I guess I know all the words of Last Dance because this fucker listens to it. Like even subconsciously, like you listen to a couple songs a little bit more than the rest. And it just makes sense that Moira would have been on that Tina Turner train, like as an older actress trying to make a comeback, like constantly written off as a has-been, that like one of the biggest has-beens since Cher made a giant comeback in the 80s. Like it just times out, and he's about that age. Like Dan Levy's playing about 30-something.
34. His character is 34.
Yeah, so it all makes sense that the later song and like probably like this where everybody jumped off the Tina Turner train would have been the best. You know what I mean? It would just been a song, and so like in a later episode, his knowing that song that well just makes that. And when you get a couple episodes further, that will make sense as to why he knows that song. Like
I have 92 more episodes of The Goldbergs to watch first.
Okay.
So.
First? Wow.
But you know what I mean? Like The way that when he
Fortunately, it's only like 46 hours.
the way that David knows that, like, the song itself has one meaning, and it could be just a song that he knew, but the way that David knew it, like, you couldn't learn that in 2 days. Like, only a couple days have passed in Schitt's Creek land.
No, it was 4 months.
No, not since the best to the best. Not between those two songs. It's only like
Oh, no, you're right, because they were apart like 10 days or whatever the fuck it was. Right.
So there isn't.
It's been a week
It's been a week.
since David and Patrick have officially been on a break in their relationship.
Yeah, because it's 7 gifts. So there hasn't been enough time for him to, like, prepare. You know what I mean? So that's just a song that has to mean something to him, and that's what got me about that.
Wow, you really have OCD'd this.
Because it hit home so hard, like that.
To you?
Yeah.
How high were you?
No, not at all.
How many edibles were involved?
Fair point.
Because this feels like some.
But you know how when something just
mind altering.
Yes, Jenny, Moira, Moira, Moira Rose is the character's name that Catherine O'Hara is playing in Schitt's Creek. Yes.
Yeah, Moira. So
and David is Dan Levy's character. The
you know
son.
when like, because you get hit with something, and it's like, oh, that's a fun point. Like, that's an unusual way to look at it. But then they hit you back, and are they playing by the rules? Like, if somebody comes back with something that perfect to counter that first thing that could have been a fluke, but to have somebody prepared 10 days later that well, and that, like, it just felt like it came from the, like...
I look at things so different because I apparently just took it at the surface. He just gave back what he was getting.
You can give back what you're giving, and then you can hit every horn, and you can get the nuances.
And that was a bottle of Prosecco that he said that he found that made him do that.
Yes, the actor.
Right.
But to come from a character and come from the writers, like, there's just something more that has to come from it. Like, you have to be a little bit in tune with, like, the time and the place. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking in real life, the guy
because he wrote it. So, okay, now I'm getting what you're saying.
The guy that played Patrick picked a song that they had the rights to, and I think he just stumbled across a song that Daniel Levy just knew and liked because he's the right age, and it probably came from his mother too.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, people in their 30s probably have that in.
So you're analyzing this in 2 ways. You're doing a character plot for this whole thing, but what you're really saying is that because Dan Levy's the writer, that really this is all Dan Levy's shit. Of he knew the song the song was important to Dan Levy in real life.
In real life,
so he made it work in this story so that it could be played and done, and an homage to Tina Turner, maybe an homage to his mother.
I don't think an homage to Tina Turner at all. I think it's just a song he liked. And when you watch that episode, you kind of get like that he didn't just learn that. Like, a bottle of Prosecco is not going to teach you where the horn blasts are. It's not going to teach you where the bridge is, and that it's time to like he knows that song. That's not just somebody lip syncing for the lives. That's someone that like me with MacArthur Park. When it gets to the bridge, I know we're somewhere special. And when he gets to the bridge of that song, he knows it and he sells the bridge. Like, it's just a little bit deeper than I lip synced for my boyfriend. There's a difference between I know the words of this song and I know where the horns are coming and I know how to like do my
Punch
shoulder.
it.
Like, I know what's coming. Like, I didn't just memorize this song. I know this song. And it just, and the emotion of that second part was so beautifully done because...
Oh, I was sitting there crying.
Right, and that's why I thought you'd buy... I
was.
can't believe you have all these questions about it because to me it was...
Well, I didn't analyze it like you. I don't see it the same way.
Well, no, you did because you cried at it, but to me it was like an emotion. It was a payoff. It was a...
Right. I got that, but I didn't create a backstory in my head.
Oh, that's my own crazy.
Right, no, I understand. I got the emotion because that's all I was looking at was he's giving back because David is so void of emotion on the surface.
Right, so to go to that depth.
So I didn't look at it go into the depth. He just figured, okay, that was maybe that's what I need to do. That was an emotional thing for him, so I should do the same.
But you've seen bad drag queens. Like,
every fucking day of my life.
Right, so you know when someone is just mouthing along to the words and somebody actually knows the song. And you could even tell me that in the last 10 days he found the real version of Simply the Best and listened to it for 10 days. And I would buy that too, but not with what he gave it. Like, somewhere deep, somebody on that set knows the song Simply the Best. It was too good. That moment, wait till you see it. You're an episode away. Wait till you see it. It's just beautiful.
Right on.
It really
and
is.
the other thing that really pays off in that episode and I won't give anything away. Just
Yes, is this a new segment? Analyze Dan Levy. I'm in love.
Schitt's
and
Creek on
obsessed.
Q Talk. What you will enjoy, and I laughed out loud. Pay attention to the gift that Johnny gives Stevie,
Okay.
because he's notorious at bad gifts. And just that's all I'll tell you. But at one, I laughed so hard, it was priceless. It was so good.
My obsession with
I'll
Dan
get
Levy
right on
knows
that.
no bounds. It knows none. Hashtag
I,
Dan Levy.
I enjoy the hell out of him. I if he would just show up, I'd be happy to.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell Rachel Maddow that.
We're still in sweater weather.
I don't think he's ever not.
Well, we are. I don't want him to come here at 120 and die in a sweater.
I think he'll be fine. I'll turn the air way down.
Goddamn Canadians.
Oh, it was. It's just it's.
What you
it's
obsessed
enjoyable.
with? That was mine.
Well, I'm a little bit there.
Wow, that was a big one.
A little bit there.
It's obsession.
I'm-
It's
I'm-
truly.
I'm actually kind of concerned.
The other thing that I've been oddly obsessed
Fair
with in
point.
the past week, and it really does show your fitness or lack thereof.
A physical?
No. You know how singing is really is a physical act, because for those, unless you're just doing nothing with singing, but to really sell a song and to really perform a song, your breathing has to be good. You have to be able to know, you obviously know all the words, and if you're adding movement and motion and anything else to this, it's a physical task.
Is this another Tina Turner story?
No,
'Cause
it
I
is
missed
not.
The theme.
No, however,
Wait, do it, Proud Mary. Is that what's
however,
happening?
in respect to Tina Turner, at 70 whatever years old when she quit doing all of her concerts, you're thinking, you're a 70-year-old woman in heels, running all over the place, singing your heart out, breathing on, everything is on cue. Like, she had it all together. For some reason, I've fallen back to, and if you don't know this song, please look it up and find it. Family Guy and Seth MacFarlane is so fucking brilliant, and he does so many amazing songs. He writes, they produce, he sings them in character. For example, one of the things that they did was they redid the old Bing Crosby and I can't think who he was singing with. Road to Bob Hope, Road to Rhode Island, or Road to wherever the hell they were going. Road, whatever. Right, but they redid it.
It's right next to Rhode Island.
It's right, but the song that they redid the song called Road to Rhode Island, where Brian and Stewie are on a train.
Such a loose show.
There's another one that's called that's a tribute to booze, where Peter goes to an AA meeting and they sing an entire thing to BOOZE booze. They go to this whole thing. Well, there's another song called Down Syndrome Girl.
Oh no.
And that song has me, because I just enjoy the hell out of the song.
When the cat's away.
Well, there's a reference to a cat in the song, oddly.
Can we hear it a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be happy to. But the song, as Stewie's character, he does this. It's not a rap, but it's such a fast-paced little phrasing that he does.
Syncopation.
You
perhaps?
can't. You really learn how out of shape you are because you can't breathe and do that. It's hard to do. It really is hard to do.
You don't know my life.
Oh yeah, I do. We'll try that. We'll watch the video of this Jeremy Jordan. Then I'm going to show you Down Syndrome Girl.
Yes.
And it'll be good. Yes. So hang on just a second.
I'm glad Sharon stopped asking me what we do at the show.
Down syndrome, traditional way.
Traditional spelling, yeah.
Right, girl. Yeah. So, hang on a minute. No, wait. What have you done?
Just trying to find somewhere that doesn't say camera here.
Well,
waiting for Marty to pop out like we're on To Catch a
oh,
Predator.
and there's also a brilliant tap dance break in the middle of it, which is fabulous.
I'm gonna pee.
Well,
Not here, please.
Well, then I'm gonna wait till you come back to play.
That would be lovely.
No, we're not even dance breaking, but it's just amazing when you realize that he did that, and it sounds like there's no edits. And then I found a video of him doing it live.
Yeah.
At a Comic-Con event, and it's amazing what he's put together. Oh, I'm trying to get to it. I'm trying to sing it enough so that I can breathe properly enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love complicated, brilliant lyrics.
I'm a
That's
ways off from. Oh, but and then I looked up the lyrics because a couple of words I couldn't make out. I couldn't figure what it was. It's how he ties it all together is just so funny. There's a reference to Thomas Jefferson in it.
Well, thank goodness, because Hamilton's all the
There's
rage.
a lot, yeah. And the one, Stewie's in drag in part of the number. That's what makes sense in Family Guy. Stewie winds up a 1-year-old
makes sense
walking on stilts in a dress and an orange wig. So I mean that makes sense, doesn't it?
That feels
completely
normal, totally normal. Yeah.
Hal has not randomly left the studio. He's been drinking since noon, and all the wine is finally processed through. So
and we're the better for it, honestly.
Who's not really?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A Drunken Al show is a good time.
Always
in
is.
my opinion.
Yes.
I feel like the show used to have breaks.
Well, yeah, but not this many. That was part of the structuring of the show, was so that we could time out the breaks, and we added the break in the middle of it. So
I
anyhow,
lost my bladder.
so the songs are.
You've got to look your best tonight, you tubby little parasite, cause there's a lovely lady
Okay.
and she's waiting for you.
Okay, so it starts out like that. It's all been happy singing, yada yada yada. It goes through this whole thing. They come to the middle of it, and they do a where's the tap dance? Oh, then there's a ballad part.
And her smile is like the sweetest summer flower.
So there's a little middle point right there. So then they go to a dance break, which is fun. So then you get to the end here where hang on, where's the shorty bus
It sounds
coming
like
in?
now that we're dancing from Hello Dolly.
So hang on.
Kind of.
So it gets into this.
Between the two of us, we'll get you on that shorty bus, and then you're gonna take it for a whirl.
Okay, so then he goes to this whole rap thing at the end.
Press that super thrilling, wish fulfilling, you who's spilling ultra swinging bone.
And it gets just louder and faster. And I don't know if it's patterned after something else. I have no idea. Good walking. Oh, it keeps going. And then the big finish, she goes, here you go. Right, so you've just got to watch the whole thing. It's an entire episode that Chris, the character, has fallen in love with a girl at school who apparently has the condition of Down syndrome.
And I think it's voiced by Becky from Glee.
If
I'm not mistaken,
no idea.
that was her.
But the song is just so fast, so I've just been singing it over and over and over and laughing because people think I'm listening to big band music as I'm driving around, and they're like, hey, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, Down syndrome.
It reminds me of not getting married today. Have you ever tried to keep up with that?
Yeah.
I need a lyric sheet over here, a cup of coffee over here.
So
and
I do that
inhaler.
thing where I answer back the lyrics, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can always do the second half of the lyrics.
Jenny, no, she is not in it. However, her sons, her sister,
The Tina Turner
her
musical in
manager, we're all at the premiere that started in London this past week, and a friend of mine, and I say friend using it as a broad brush, a guy I've known for many years named Larry, oh God, I almost said Larry Turner, but that's not right. For
An
crying out
odd
loud.
coincidence.
Larry.
Cousin Larry.
Why am I blanking out on Larry's last name? He plays Tina Turner in the Diva show in Vegas. He was there. He was flown over and apparently hung out with everybody that was part of it. And at one point, the after party, he was there in Tina drag and did some performance there.
Oh, wow.
Larry Edwards. His name's Larry Edwards. That's the name. But yeah, so no, Tina is not in the show. And I'm going to assume, similar to what she said about the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, when they asked her if she'd ever seen it, she's like, why? I lived it. I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that the musical is going to be kind of the same thing. It's about her life. She's like,
But it'll probably be like the Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard one, where like, this is as close we're going to get to her life without the wife beating.
Right.
Although, the Donna Summer musical uses a little bit of abuse.
Does it?
A little bit of bad boyfriendry, but like the Ike thing, you can't gloss that off in one, Nutbush City Limit and he punches her like...
Right. Can't tap dance your way
Like,
around that one.
ooh, dance break. Yeah, no, can't do
Like,
that.
there's not 50 years of happiness, or you know what I mean? There's kind of a while, so I'd be curious to see how that goes. But if they're doing it like they're doing these other ones, it's
Well, the
just,
Donna Summer one.
yeah, it's just a superficial way to listen to the hits and get just the briefest little,
Which I'm on board with.
just the skipping over the top of the life story, with a lot of good songs. So I'm assuming the Tina Turner one is in the mode of the Cher one that's coming out. The
Oh, I didn't realize there was a Cher one coming
yeah,
out.
the
There
Cher
is,
one
yeah.
comes out in the fall, and
Oh, I know the other thing.
but they're following that. I mean, the
it fall?
Jersey Boys one that everyone is the model of. The Jersey Boys one, because they had the permission of Tony, whatever his name was. They had the permission of the one guy to really go down and dirty, and his story was like really tragic. And Donna's is a little tragic, but I don't know how deep they'll go into like these other ones. I mean, I thought they went too deep for Donna, but whatever.
Other little obsession would be, and I'm sure you've all seen it as well. I'm very curious to see the movie when it comes out. Renee Zellweger is playing Judy Garland
Oh,
Judy
yeah.
biopic,
in the Judy biopic. That's, I don't know what channel, I don't know what network is doing this.
It's a
Biopic.
TV thing?
It is
Biopic.
biopic.
I'm sorry, biopic.
Like mozzarella, it's biopic.
Like biography.
Biography.
But
picture.
they showed some side by sides of Judy performing at the concerts in London and then right next to it they had Zellweger, and I mean, pretty damn
Oh,
dead
there was
on.
side-by-side video too?
No, they just showing
'cause
stills.
Yeah,
just some
stills.
stills
I've
from.
seen.
I was
a
looking
couple
for
of
video.
Photos.
I was looking for video because I'm very curious to see how the mannerisms are. Because I mean, she's holding the microphone and she's all like Judy always was. That's what Zellweger. But I'm like, how do we get
And
her?
allegedly, it's just 1 year in her life.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if
okay.
someone else is playing her for other parts.
No, it's
like The
Right.
it's that concert series she did in London before
Okay.
her death.
So I wasn't sure how they were doing that, but so it's that last year of
Yeah.
her life. Or
Yeah, so I'm
whatever.
just-
And it's not a movie. It's a miniseries.
No, it's a
or
movie.
made for TV.
I think it's a movie.
I honestly I don't know. It's
but
just
honestly,
Stand by-
I-
dear Googles,
from
we
what
need to know.
it hasn't been picked up yet, so I don't think we know what form it will take.
But they just started shooting it like last week, and so those first pictures had leaked out of.
So
Or
I-
they
Yeah,
put 'em
because I
out.
hadn't heard anything about it until somebody came by to watch some show tunes, and
So my
me
impression
all about
is
it.
that they're leaking the things to get some more money on board, like to get a distributor.
Oh, by
or
the way, I wanted to. Speaking of show tunes, your show tunes night. Could you throw some Family Guy in there because they're all a lot of them are takeoffs of original show tune songs.
totally.
For example,
Yeah.
I heard one last night that I had never heard before. It's the and oddly Rush Limbaugh voices himself in an episode of Family Guy, and the whole the song is from How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and it's called what do they call it in Family Guy? Something Republican something. And they're just
the
lamp.
Brotherhood of Man.
I think it is the Brotherhood of Man. Yeah, and it was
is
a brotherhood,
something like that. Yeah,
of man, a benevolent brotherhood of man, a noble tie that binds all human hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man. Oh, aren't
You're
you
welcome.
proud to be? I did that musical. It was horrible.
Stand by.
We
so they
were.
released
The
the
show
one
was
photo
quite
that I
good. We
saw.
were terrible.
all the widgets, whatever widget you make.
Judy Garland film. Somebody tell me something more about it.
As far as I know, it's being filmed, but they don't have any kind of distribution project for it. So it's probably going to play at a festival somewhere in the hopes of being bought. I would assume they're getting ready.
I knew nothing else about it.
I'm assuming they're getting ready for like Cannes or something to like.
But she
show
looked
it up.
fantastic. And it's funny, I never thought Zellweger would look good again at anything after all the horrible plastic surgery she had done. Because she used to be cute.
Zellweger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well.
yeah, something went wrong.
But if it lands you the Judy Garland movie, I mean.
Oh yeah, she's
worth
a
it.
little made
And
up.
but please God, don't let her sing.
Oh no, I'm sure she's lipping. She has to be lipping to everything.
I don't know.
But that's the other thing I was always hoping for, and I haven't seen that either. And it's so unfortunate. There's no filming of anything she did at Carnegie Hall, unless it pops up somewhere. You know, somebody finds it in their attic that they've got an entire film of the entire Carnegie Hall concert when they'll just sync that with the audio. But I have to assume that the London concerts that she did, and I know this is stimulating to everybody else out there in the world.
They want to know about this.
I'm sure that they put her through watching films of Judy doing the concert.
Oh, I'm sure.
So she's spent weeks or months analyzing all this.
There are films here and there of those last concerts.
Well, actually, she kind of just has to watch her show, like the '60s Judy show, to get a lot of the
Yeah, but then you
mannerisms.
got to take it a little bit further because she was ill. Like
right.
In hindsight, the Judy years were healthy. The Judy Garland show years
right.
were
Though painful in some cases to watch, just because she had to make a buck. Like that's the only reason she had to have that. She did that show.
Wow.
Have to watch that on Rewind.
All right, so the official synopsis for the film reads, quote, Winter, 1968. And showbiz legend Judy Garland arrives in swinging London to perform in a sellout run at the Talk of the Town. It is 30 years since she shot to global stardom in The Wizard of Oz. But if her voice has weakened, its dramatic intensity has only grown as she prepares for the show, battles with management, charms musicians, and reminisces with friends and adoring fans. Her wit and warmth shine through. Even her dreams of romance seem undimmed as she embarks on a courtship with Mickey Deans, her soon-to-be fifth husband. And yet, Judy is fragile. After working for 45 of her 47 years, she's exhausted, haunted by memories of a childhood lost to Hollywood,
And
gripped by a desire to be back home with her kids.
And laced out like crazy.
Will she have the strength to go on? Spoiler alert,
No. Yeah. They didn't drag her dead off a stage, but it was pretty close. Oh, but it's still, it says
now that a
nothing
couple
else.
of us have reached that age,
I'm
Oh my God.
how bad does it got to be that we can't make it through 47?
Well, none of us have been
I mean,
pushed
I
like
was
that.
tired.
None of us have ever been pushed
Right,
like
right.
that.
I mean,
That's
but
crazy.
what's the difference? Like,
Right.
I like that's a hard life to give up. You know what I mean? To just
Well, then the other thing you have to factor in, aside from that, aside from the drugs and all the pushing they did when she was younger, all of the mental shit that she went through because of, she was
marrying the gay
well,
fellas and
there was
losing
that
her
too.
money.
No, I was even thinking just for the studios, like if she wasn't good enough for this, so they had to do this to her to make her good enough for that, or I'm sure there was constantly a mental thing that went on too that again none of us have ever been through.
Right.
I mean, I don't believe that any of us have ever been through like that.
I don't know.
Well, there's that.
I'm
So,
here for it. I'm
so
watching
coming
the whole
up
thing.
later at some point in the future, we're gonna have something about Judy in a new movie that Renee Zellweger is starring in.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
And I'm very curious to find out about that. Oh, now
about studio.
this
or-
might be. You know what? We're just gonna do this because eventually we're entertainment. Are you recording, or do you have any interest in Trust, the Getty
is
story?
this?
The Getty.
Oh yes.
Mom watched the first one. I haven't watched it. I have it recorded. But Mom is like, she texts me. She's like, "This is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good series." So I'm very curious to see how this goes because it's the Gettys in the early '70s.
Trust in one on AMC called The Terror or something like that. And I don't know how they're doing it, but I think it's based on a book I read called Kingdom of Ice, about the ships that went up looking for the what they
Northwest
thought was going to
Passage?
be like the equivalent of the Gulf Coast, the Gulf.
Mm-hmm.
What's that called?
Gulf of Mexico.
Didn't they call it the Northwest Passage? that
No,
they were looking for
that's
to
not
get
what I'm
across.
You know how there's the Gulf Stream. The
Okay.
Gulf Stream brings that's why the
Oh.
beaches in
The jet stream.
No, the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is why the ocean is warm when you're in the Carolinas, but it's cold in California because they don't have a Gulf Stream. They don't have that warm water going up the
I
coast.
see.
So there was all these ships that took what they thought would be an equivalent of the Gulf Coast up to the Arctic. And when they went up there, they got trapped because there is no such thing.
Okay.
There is no warm water that flows north on that side of the ocean, and they got trapped in the ice. So I'm curious to see if this is going to be the retelling, with a little bit of a selling it as a horror movie. But it was called Kingdom of Ice, and it was a terrific book. If that's what they're making into, and it's kind of scary because these people went up there knowing they were going to be snowed in for 6 months. Like they went
Right.
in to get locked in the ice to hopefully get let loose by this mysterious
warm
water.
No.
And then they ended up just walking to Russia. Spoiler alert.
There's that. Okay, so I don't know if you're probably not gonna be able to tease this at all, but we're gonna try it and see what happens.
Oh, I have nothing.
Come on, we're gonna do a break. You're gonna take a pee. We're gonna come back.
Love, Simon opened, big gay movie, made money. It's the first studio production, big budget movie and like wide release about a gay boy ever.
I've been captured by yet another Shonda Rhimes witchcraft.
Oh.
See, there's
I'll help
something.
you here.
There's something.
And Walking Dead just gets worse and worse.
Oh, there's that. All right, we're coming right back with the final 40-some-odd minutes of this show with this and Al and Kat and me, and we'll see what's going to happen. Stand by. Good luck to all of you.
Hey girl, you okay?
You're listening to Q Talk America. This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
And as your luck would have it, we are back for, it's kind of like a third segment, but it's not going to be an hour, I'm
But
pretty
an
sure.
extension of the rest of the segments
Right.
that we should
It's-
pull over all night.
It's just kind of been it's a very fluid show.
Very
you said that
loose.
very earlier,
loose,
yeah.
yeah.
Very, very loose meat show. Oh, speaking of loose meat,
We're going to talk about Roseanne because I don't want to.
no, she's
Fuck
I
her.
don't know if anybody else gave a shit, but the premiere of the new season of Roseanne starts tonight. I recorded. I have to see what happens. So it'll be interesting to
I
see.
don't know that I do have to see what happens.
Oh, I want to.
The more she promotes it, and I have it at the top of my list, the more she promotes it, the less I want to watch it.
No.
Like, I'm just not intrigued by... And I just read the whole explanation of why she was a Trump voter and all that stuff. And
All right, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, you got other stuff to talk about. Entertainment. It's Al Perkins, and hopefully he'll make something up.
We had to get through all the music first.
Yeah, you have to ride the whole thing out.
the whole thing out. So, yeah, so that's going on. And, you know, there's the whole thing of, like, they're from the Midwest, and they're from a state that voted for Trump, so why wouldn't they have bought into the same thing? And I guess the sister, Jackie,
yeah, Jackie,
is going to turn out to be a
Lori Metcalf.
Jill Stein voter.
Oh, Lord. Of
Yeah,
course Jackie would vote for Jill Stein.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'm like, this is a show that I mean, it's one of those shows I never found all that funny until Darlene got shitty. Like, when she got depressed and started wearing black, then I found the show kind of funny because they kind of all went nasty with her. But other
See,
than
and
that,
I didn't like it later. I liked it fluffier and feel-goodier.
yeah, it's like poverty, not
Yeah.
funny.
Once they all
I
left
don't
the
know.
factory, I was like,
I always found
right.
it funny.
Yeah, poor
Yeah,
people.
that's one of those shows that I put in the bad 80s. Like, I'm like,
And I wonder if that's because, excuse me, I'm eating whatever the hell this
Nutella.
is. It's like Nutella.
Sounds
So
delicious.
lovely. And maybe I wonder about things like that because though you and I have a lot of similarities in things that we like, for example, we both, I was in love with Donna Summer long before I ever met you, and then realized that somebody else loved her more than I do.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there are things like, for example, I found Roseanne funny, but I was also from the Midwest, though they aren't exactly Midwest, but it was a low-income house. They were struggling with daily stuff, blah, blah, blah. And maybe just because you're more east, and maybe it's because you're just a little older than I am too, by a few years. I don't know if that is just a disconnect. I mean, because there are things that you find funny that I don't, but then...
Yeah, I mean, there's just something about that, I like her. Like, I thought her sense of humor, like, when she was a stand-up comic was funny. But then when you just put it out, I'm like, nah, there's nothing. And I already lived out here. By the time that show came on, I already lived out here and was on my own.
Right, but you
and I
didn't
was
grow.
like,
But you didn't grow up in a scenario like that.
oh, God, yeah. I mean, we grew up, money tight and the extended family with supporting the grandparents and my uncle because the factories were all closed. And, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm wrong.
everybody supporting the whole everybody we were related to. I mean, not
Sure.
my cousins in Rochester and stuff like that, but like people like really struggling for like a buck and to like keep 2 and 3 households alive. Like I remember like my father and his brother and their family, everybody trying to keep my grandparents afloat, and the third brother who was laid off and a drunk and like trying to keep him like alive and off the streets and like definitely the factories closing in Niagara Falls. I mean, my
Right.
father worked for Nabisco. My uncle worked for one worked for Kodak. That's the one that moved to Rochester, and the other one was a paper company that I can't remember what it was called, but it was paper. And yeah, so I mean, it was the blue collar thing is definitely like how I was raised, but there was just something about that show that just always kind of like, I mean, not good, bad, or anything. I always just watched it and was like, I don't get this. Like they're not like I was more a Cheers person. Like,
sure,
I want to work a little
and
harder.
I love Cheers. I
Yeah.
completely love Cheers.
Like, I like a double entendre and everybody kind of, like, picking on each other. So that's when Roseanne got a little bit meaner and Darlene, what was it, Rain? Darlene?
Darlene, yeah.
Got a little nasty and started wearing black, and they started, like, just saying horrible things to each other. And I'm like, I got you now. Like, now you're
All
a
right.
family. That whole, like, we're just fat and we sit around wearing flannel and, like, I was like, I don't get it.
I feel like all of my Roseanne viewing was involuntary. Like it was, no. It was in a time period in like television watching and in my family. Like there was one TV and you watched what mom was watching.
Oh,
if you
right.
were gonna watch TV,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
it was before there was a TV in the basement. It was before
I
we
remember
had
those
we had
times.
any kind of control. And so my mother loves a family sitcom, like still does.
Right.
You know what I mean? Loves a family sitcom. So any family sitcom that premiered any time between 1981 and 1994, it was forced viewing.
Right. That's fair.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I feel like Roseanne kind of fell into that because it's along the lines and about the same time as the Cosby Show. Like that was a regular weekly event.
Right.
The Roseanne Show was a regular weekly event. So I don't know. Like I feel kind of blech.
Yeah.
About the
and
whole
for Roseanne,
experience.
I had already left the house, but like Designing Women and Murphy Brown, like that kind of thing was much more my.
And I love those.
speed, yeah.
Other ones, other ones I love.
Yeah. And it was just a different take
Okay.
on like I need people to be a little bit snarkier, like just work a little bit harder at being nasty, like. But now I love The Middle. Like strangely enough, like the show that's the most like Roseanne now is The Middle.
Oh yeah.
And I find
I've
that
never
show.
seen it.
I think that show is so funny of the way they do everything on like $5.
Sure.
And the fact that like everything is broken in their house. I mean, in our house nothing was broken because my father would find a
Now
way to
I
fix it,
confuse
but-
that because The Middle is not something different of Malcolm in the Middle, is it?
No.
Okay.
The Middle is just about a show in Indiana. It's just Midwest
Oh,
people
okay.
with Midwest values that like
Got it.
can't quite get their shit together, and it's just very funny because but it is Roseanne like
Today.
just saying like, okay, everyone else says they're doing really well, but here's what's happening in the middle. Like here's what you're missing.
But
So-
we're the regular people.
We're
that
the
are
regular
paycheck
people.
To paycheck
Your flyover
checking
states,
and-
if you will.
yeah, oh no, and that's what they call it, the middle. And so
I
it's-
caught that. I wasn't there. I caught it now. Yeah.
It's the same kind of humor, but for some reason now I'm kind of amused by it. And it really is very Roseanne-ish. Like it's all around a couch and crotchety old people and people just being shitty to each other. They're just not fat. I guess that's the difference.
Interesting.
Like no one on the show.
I'm
is-
gonna assume that you probably also, and if you've ever even seen it, like when the Reba show was on, like when she was doing her Reba, like she was a divorced mom with kids, and the one kid was the son-in-law.
Oh, there was a couple minutes where I
I
watched
thought that.
Friday
I
Night
think
TV.
there's humor in that too. But I like her.
But hey, he's doing a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial now, so
She is Reba McEntire.
doesn't say Reba McEntire for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Just has that same actor pushing chicken. Nowhere does it say this is Reba.
There are no hair
McEntire.
dryers in that chicken that commercial either. By the way.
Interesting.
Because it's a man. That's about it. And Love, Simon came out. I have not had a chance to see it. I'm hoping
I
to
haven't
see
seen
it
it either.
tomorrow, Thursday morning. But it's by Greg Berlinati, or however you say his last name, Berlinat. Berlinati, who does like every great show, including Hannibal. And he did many years ago my one of the best gay movies ever, The Broken Hearts Club, the gay softball team. Just a charmer of a fucking movie. If you've never had a chance, and that was his big break into Hollywood. Was he made one of the first all gay movies ever made? Like not made about drag queens or stereotypes or anything. It was just about a bunch of gay friends that had a softball team. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, it's absolutely lovely and fun. And then he's done Hannibal. He's done every goddamn show. I think he's the Arrow now. He's the Flash. He's Supergirl.
Yes.
He's
Legends
Hannibal.
of Tomorrow, Green Lantern.
He's Pushing Up Daisies. Every
Oh,
show.
really?
Yeah, he did
Right
Pushing
on.
Up Daisies. And now he's this Love, Simon. And it's actually it was you that brought it to our attention last year as a movie you were looking for.
Oh, it wasn't Love, Simon. It was
That was one of the two that you mentioned.
Summer
movie.
Summer something.
Something like Summer.
Something, yeah, and I still haven't seen that.
Because it hasn't come out.
Well, then,
we're still waiting.
I thought it was out at the time.
It is, but in very, 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 very limited release.
Okay.
So we're waiting for someone to pick it up on video.
So I need to
it's
see Love, Simon, Something Like Summer. I've never seen Broken Hearts Club.
Oh, I have it at home on video. I'll loan it to anybody. It's one of the sweetest movies ever made, and it's where we get Zach Braff from. In case you didn't know, that was his.
Oh.
That was his introduction to Hollywood. As he was the twink. He's the young guy, and he's got a new series that looks cute coming up.
Does he?
Adam Incorporated or something like that.
Oh.
So that's really about it. Oh, wait. I saw Only the Brave on the airplane about the Granite Mountain hotshots.
Oh, from here?
From
sure. The
Payson, Prescott, wherever
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were. Terrific movie. Cannot recommend it enough. It was very, very good.
Really?
And I forgot the important part and why I was remembering the story is because Josh Brolin is playing you. He looks like you. He dresses like you. Cousins, identical cousins.
They're two of a
Oh my god, I
kind.
was laughing like the whole movie. I'm like, that's just Clayton McKee as a firefighter.
Oh my gosh.
He even has your glasses. It was a little creepy.
That is creepy.
Yeah. So I mean, a great. It's really really well done, and it's not just a sad story about a bunch of guys that die in a fire. It's kind of
That's
like
good.
the triumphant story about how they became the first municipal firefighters that became hot shots, and all the things they went through to become hot shots, and the kid that
that's cool.
the kid that survived has a
Cameo.
no, but he's got his story and how he got there that kind of comes through Phoenix.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I forgot about that part of that story. But it's it's a very well done movie.
Right on.
And then I watched about the first third of Stronger with Jake Gyllenhaal about the Boston Marathon survivor.
Oh yeah.
That's really terrific.
All right.
I mean, I only made it a little bit of the way through.
Okay.
But since I'd finished
So far, so good.
a couple of movies I had at home on DVD from the people, I'm still one of the people that gets Netflix shipped to me.
Right.
A couple of things were on the planes, so I watched them so I could ship those movies back, and I got Stronger because they cut it off.
Oh, okay.
And I watched my first horror movie on a plane.
How'd that go?
I was scared.
Even while on a plane, knowing nothing could get to
That's how completely
How did you survive not having a coffee table to sit upon?
I leaned up and got it.
and having your great TV to not be able to view it on.
So I have to tell you, like, I watched Wonder again, my favorite movie of last year with Julia Roberts.
And Owen Wilson.
Oh my
Still
God.
hands down my favorite movie of last year.
Really?
It's wonderful. Sobbed like a little girl.
I read the book.
Oh
yeah.
That's rough.
Oh yeah.
Saw The Brave.
To my children.
Saw Only the Brave. Cried through that. Then I watched Happy Death Day, which I saw in the theaters. Got a couple jumps.
Yeah.
Probably disturbed the person behind me. Maybe the person in front of me.
They'll be fine.
They'll live, yes.
Yeah, but did they die?
And then I watched It.
But
Oh,
did
no.
you die?
I watched It
Oh.
on the airplane. Oh my god. I so fell through the hole on that one. That movie is so good. I
Right
had
on.
the headphones on. I was glued into the screen. The captain came in to tell us about what fucking height we were flying at. Like, I'm flying the goddamn plane.
Like I'm gonna measure it.
Right. Like you.
Scared.
We're
the
currently cruising at
bejesus out of me.
35,000 feet. What if we're not? I wouldn't know. How would I know?
Because all of a sudden it's this creepy part with all these clowns, and all of a sudden we're cruising along, and I'm like,
Breaker 19, we are flying at 40 billion feet. You're like,
I like how you took Convoy onto a plane.
exactly.
just now.
We did.
Yeah.
Planes, trains, automobiles.
The one cruise I was on, they played Titanic as the midnight movie. So they're like, well, we can't think of a worse movie, so we're gonna play
Funny.
this one.
That's funny.
Because Jenny said it wasn't the one where the
So
monster
what, the
bites someone off
emoji
plane in
movie
Twilight
wasn't
Zone.
available?
I'm sure it was. I mean, they're not kidding. If you fly transatlantic on American, when they tell you they got a lot of movies, they got a lot of movies.
right
Like
on.
when their classic section is legitimate classics. They are not kidding. Like they have All About Eve and Sunset Boulevard and It Happened One Night. Like
Good for them.
they've got like 30s and 40s black and white classics. Like they were not bullshitting. I think they had North by Northwest on this one. It was legit.
So fun.
That's it for entertainment. I'm just making shit up.
Well,
now.
no, but
Okay, let's
sorry.
go over to Cat Carlson
All right,
Entertainment.
Cat
I have a
Carlson.
couple of things.
Okay, we'll probably spar off of this, Al. Get ready.
First of all, Shonda Rhimes is a witch. And
Oh,
I'm
she
under
is.
her
She's a witch.
fucking spell. Number one.
Oh.
She brought back to life Kit fucking DeLuca.
Oh, I did see your
Did you
post.
see my
I did
post?
see your post about this.
So I'm watching Grey's Anatomy like I do every week because I'm under the Shonda Rhimes spell. And I'm watching along, and this woman like laying in the bed with whatever horrible injury. I'm like, why does she look familiar? Who is that? And then I literally jumped up off my couch. I was like, oh my god, that's Kit DeLuca from Pretty Woman, of course.
Right.
The best friend, right?
Which I have to tell you, I had to Google because when you post that because I'm like,
I put the picture.
I know, but I'm like, she spelled Cat DeLuna wrong.
No.
Because I'm thinking
totally
the
different.
singer. No, but I didn't realize there was a Kit DeLuca in
We
existence.
think you got a lot of potential, Kit DeLuca.
$100, the wife can watch.
No idea who these people are.
Never take less than 100. Take care of you.
No kissing on the mouth. I mean, I got all the rules down.
Right. So they brought her back to life, made her an astronaut, then made her crazy, then killed her. Full circle. Spoiler alert, that's what happened.
And you know, the crazy astronaut is my favorite news story of all time.
Right. Right.
Oh, right. The one
She
that,
wore a diaper. She wore a
right
Depends
to drive
country.
across country to
Right.
go to Houston to kill somebody.
She's still my
So
hero.
good. So then, Shonda goes and writes another goddamn show that I have to watch every freaking week called For the People. It's about young lawyers that are saving the world in New York or some court. I don't fucking care.
It's the modern day LA law.
I don't. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
'cause-
matter. You're in.
Yeah, I'm in. She sucked me right in. So there it is. That's my TV for the fall. And then, so we do the show tunes and I play them. I play them basically for one guy now, real late on a Thursday.
I'll be there this Thursday.
All right, it's me and one other guy.
I can't be there.
2 guys.
That's okay.
Okay.
All right, so this week it'll be me and 2 guys, but it's usually me and one guy. And he comes in real late and we chat show tunes or whatever, just catch up on life, and we
Cheating
become
on me,
friends.
I understand.
You don't come by, you don't
You're not
visit,
there,
you don't
yeah.
call, you go to Europe, whatever. In any event, so
It's
he
not
had
you, it's me.
he had seen The King and I that was just in town.
Dun, 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 dun,
Right.
Dun, dun.
1, 2, 3, end. And so he said to me, he says, I don't want to spoil it, but I want to know your take on it. I haven't seen him since to tell him, but he says, he said, I feel like I was the only one that picked up on the uncomfortableness of the white is right storyline, like this whole storyline in The King and I of trying to be more like the Western world. And he's like, oh my God, I was so uncomfortable, but I was surrounded by all of these white people from Mesa and Scottsdale, who are the people that go to see shows in Gamage. And he said nobody else seemed uncomfortable, and you know what I mean. There was
Because they're already white.
There was apparently a joke about a wall that got a big laugh. I think it got a smaller laugh at my showing. Something about build a wall around the country of Siam.
About Siam, yeah.
And so I went to go see it on Sunday, kind of with this in the back of my mind, all right, I'm gonna watch for this and see. And the thing that I came away, and I haven't told him yet, and I'm very excited to do so, is that I cared way less about the race politics and way more about the gender politics. I am officially tired of the storyline of the strong, intelligent, capable woman who has to convince the poor, ineffective, incapable man of the right thing to do. I'm over the storyline. It has to go. I'm done. That was all that kept hitting me in the face is why is she fucking wasting her time? Get back on the boat and go to goddamn England.
Walk away, bitch.
Get out. Get out.
The subjugation of women comes across way harder than any race thing.
Right. Yeah.
But in the midst of all this,
and Shall We Dance captures me every time.
And 3 or 4 of the most beautiful songs ever written for American theater. There are and I always say The King and I should just be done as a concert. I don't need the March of the Siamese Children. I don't need.
It was short. There were only 8 children.
Right, because it was on tour.
Yeah.
Oh God, community theater. That number goes on for 20 years. It's a puzzlement. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Whatever the 2 fucking kids sing in the end of the first act.
Right.
Gone.
Yeah.
But I personally feel that because it's about oppression, sort of, a little bit, the We Kiss in a Shadow and I Have Dreamed are very coming out gay songs. I've always said that.
Oh, okay, sure.
I have dreamed that your arms are lovely. I have dreamed and enjoyed the view, and in these dreams I feel that,
right.
That your arms are
the forbidden
lovely.
Love,
the forbidden love,
sure,
yeah.
Sure.
It really is. And We Kiss in a Shadow, We Hide from the Moon. It's very gay coming out. Whoa, if they could only kiss in the sunlight and say to the sky, behold how my lover loves me. The lyrics in that show are just bafflingly gorgeous. But in the middle of it, you have this awful fucking show. Another one, How to Succeed in Business that I've been in. And I was like, this was terrible.
Yeah, I ended up just and very quickly being like, bitch, get out of there. Get on the boat.
But
go back to
you're
England.
getting drawn
Fuck
in
this
by
guy.
the beautiful
music.
The beautiful music and the orchestrations in that show. It's not South Pacific good. Let's settle down. It's not at that level of loveliness, but it's pretty fucking close. Something Wonderful is just written for 3 sopranos. Just beautiful. It's it's just a beautiful show. But you really have to be a lot okay, just don't watch that part. Oh no, they're slaves. Oh, let's not watch that part.
That's maybe a little less of that. Yeah, I feel like I'm 100% done with that because that storyline shows up again and again and again and again.
And you're always in danger of a white guy coming up with Mickey Rooney makeup.
Right.
You just know that you're just seconds away from some white kid from Paramus, New Jersey.
No, it was a very ethnically appropriate cast. Yeah.
But you know that's on the verge of going wrong. That somebody's gonna call in sick one day, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, we have to put Susie on," and it's wrong in 2 ways: first her name and then her ethnicity.
I think my road to here began with Annie Get Your Gun. You know what I
Cruise
mean?
ship quality.
Right. Like, watch that, and I was mad as hell. I'm like, wait, are you telling me that the moral of this story is to let him win so he'll love you? Fuck him.
Fuck it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck him. And I've just been angry about this entire genre ever since. I'm done.
I saw Bernadette Peters, maybe, in Annie Get Your Gun on Broadway.
Did you?
And halfway through, I actually said the word, this is cruise ship quality. Like, it was such a stick of margarine in a world of butter. It was such shit. But there's a couple of really good songs in it.
Right.
But the rest of the time, you're like, I'm offended for Native Americans. I'm offended for women.
Oh my God, so
I'm
many
offended for people in general.
We just need the mixtape. We just need the highlight reel at this point.
Like, there's a couple shows out there that they like, because at least South Pacific talks about racism. Like, South Pacific is about racism, but in the middle of it, there's this wonderful song of You Have to Be Carefully Taught where they talk about these fuckers are racists and we got to do something about it. Like, at least in the middle, they stop and say something where the King and I, they're like, no, we're just going to keep going.
Yeah, we're good.
There was a moment here, but we're just going to keep going. I played the white guy in the show, in my defense. Also the only non-singing role in The King and I. There's only one. There's only one motherfucker on the stage that doesn't sing. That was me.
The captain of the ship, isn't it?
No, he's the one that teaches her how to waltz. Sir Edward.
Oh, yeah.
Her old boyfriend.
That's right.
You get
he
to
doesn't
wear.
sing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. Oh, good job.
Yep, that was me. I auditioned for that show like 18 times.
And they finally let you do it, but not sing.
So I don't really think we have a. I don't think we have a two things segment this week.
We probably don't.
Because we're pulling things out everywhere, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So also, you gotta. I feel like I'm being
spitballing. Right. That's right.
I feel like I'm being led somewhere. What's going on?
No. I'm just trying to figure out. Are we just going right to thoughtful for now, or are we just going to spend the next 18 minutes talking about just more random shit? I just like to know what we're
There's
doing.
a lot of pistachios.
We gotta
left,
let the
so
affiliates down the line know what we're.
I say we
doing.
go to thoughtful.
Let's do it. I'm in.
All right. Then
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask
That's
one
good.
question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
Okay, so is there a holiday or a theme, like a St. Patrick's Day or a Cinco de Mayo that you have absolutely no connection to? Like is there some holiday theme day?
Ash Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't know. No. Finish your question because maybe I don't understand.
That everybody makes a big deal about, but you're like, I don't know what. Like I do, like, but it's got to be something big. Like Ash Wednesday, nobody does anything big. The ashes on their head, but something where everybody does something that you're like, this does not resonate. Like this doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, it's literally all of the drinking holidays. The Cinco de Mayo, the St. Patrick's Day, there's another one that even Halloween. I'm like, I'm done.
That's because we're tainted from working in the bar industry.
I think it really is because they all three ring as days that I try really hard not to have to
But
work.
I mean, did you ever do anything for St. Patrick's Day before you worked in a bar? Like, was it a day that you were like, ooh, can't wait for this?
I mean, when I was 22, I drank every night like that. So
Right. And one day they made it better for you.
And
Yeah.
one day it was cheaper and greener, I guess. Yeah, I feel like all of those are for sure. Like, I don't need
Like,
it
are you
or
missing
get
New
it.
Year's Eve like memories, or is
Oh my
there-
God, I haven't been off of it on a New Year's Eve. This year was the first year that I hadn't worked a New Year's Eve in 12 years. So I have only bar New Year's Eve memories. I have only bar.
So
St.
there's a
Patrick's
lot
Day
of
memories.
holidays where you're
like
spent-
there's actually a lot of holidays that
that
I'm
you're
really
spent looking
detached
around going,
from.
what are we
I'm
doing?
like, why are we doing this? What? And luckily now I work in a place that doesn't like demand that we feed into it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like St. Patrick's Day came and went, and I was like, absolutely not. We're not doing green beer. We're not doing fucking Irish carbon. We're not doing any of this shit. We're having a regular night, and God blesses if it's dead. That'd be even better. And weirdly, it was busy. Like people showed up anyway. We did zero advertising. We had no drink special.
Yeah.
I was packed.
Because it's a night when people just drink.
Right, because people are just out looking for that, and I think we'll go to the block parties and Like, if that's the theme that you want, go do that.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I would say every single one of those, for no reason, drinking holidays for sure. I have no personal attachment to.
Okay.
I think I'd have to go along with you. I don't really have any, other than working in the bars as long as, and that's always a recurring theme with us because we've all done it for so long. And I'm at the point, like I was saying to somebody just the other day, it was like, I just really couldn't care less about being here for when so many people are there and there's lines. Like, I'm not standing in a line.
But I mean, not
I'm
that
not
you
gonna
don't
go-
like the holiday anymore, but is there something like you have no memory of it? Like, I know you used to dye your hair green and do something big for St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
So you had a tradition. Like, it's not just that you don't like it, but is there some holiday that like just doesn't ring a bell? Like, there's like, I don't.
Well, my last name, I mean, there's some Irish descent, so there was a connection because I'm a McKee. So there was that, and it was for fun to do. And I used to do my hair green just to be kind of funny, but
But at least you were involved. Like that.
Right.
Yeah. I
so
mean,
you're looking for a holiday where like you're not involved, you don't care. Well, like
Easter.
Ash
Hands
Wednesday-
down,
I don't-
Easter.
I don't
or
care
just
about
something
Easter.
that just strikes you as like, what are we making it? Like, I don't like. Not that you don't buy into it anymore, which is any holiday now because we're all old.
Right.
But there's that holiday of like, was this a big deal at some point? Like, did I miss a memo? Like,
You got Arbor Day, you got Mexican Independence Day. I mean, Cinco de Mayo. I mean, that's.
I mean, Cinco de Mayo would be an easy one for me because in New York, I never even heard of that.
Right.
So I came out here and I'm like,
And it would- right,
what are you
you-
doing?
you
Because
came
it's
out
not
here-
a real holiday. It's
Yeah.
made up by the Corona company.
Right,
But at
exactly,
least people had
exactly.
memories. People had parties they went to. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
something you're just not connected to. Like I agree with Easter. Like a lot of any of the religious holidays, I was never connected to. I mean, I think Christmas you get a pass with because it was just
it's an American holiday.
right.
It's
You're
not-
just you're
yeah.
so you're enthralled from advertisement and from everything else.
But when someone says Thanksgiving, like, we all buy in. We all know what we like. We all know what the meal is. We all know, like,
I love me some Thanksgiving.
you know what I mean? Like, there's a memory there that when someone says, like, or 4th of July, you're like, well, you know, we're gonna watch fireworks. There's probably a picnic somewhere. But then somebody will say a holiday, and you're like, oh, what? Like, I mean, I don't know what I'm going for here, but mine is Easter. Like,
I had a
there was
feeling.
one year that I kind of remembered looking for a Easter basket or something, and I remember no one ever going to my mom to sunrise service, but I don't have any memory of like a special meal or relatives coming over or doing something with my grandparents. And we did something with my
I had all
grandparents
that.
every time like the Pope farted. Like, seriously, there was nothing that we missed out. And like, my sister's like, oh, I miss you this time of year, especially. I'm like, Easter? Like,
Yeah.
you have some memory of this day?
Did you used to wear
Like,
fabulous hats?
I don't know. And I remember my dad used to say if you didn't wear something new on Easter, the birds would shit on you. Like,
Oh.
like my memories of Easter are very vague, but they have nothing to do with like doing something as a family, or it's not a day that I miss anybody. Like, I don't sit at home on Easter going,
I
oh, it
wish
would
the
be
family-
nice to
right.
be like to do like what did we do? What were we doing? What was the point to this?
President's Day, like patio furniture's on sale.
Right.
Like that's
So that's a really funny example because I was raised in like this religious void because my parents were of conflicting religions, and so they were like, well, we're gonna let the kids figure it out themselves.
Oh, right,
and,
right, yeah.
You know, whatever. So we would always have dinner with our family on Easter Sunday, but never ever knew why. Like, didn't understand what Easter was outside of the Easter Bunny, and never
right.
Like, I was in high school before I knew what Easter was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we always had dinner together with my grandparents and, you know, my aunts and uncles, because everybody lived in the same city at that time, and like it was always a Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
But never any reason why. Like, oh, it's Easter. The end.
The end, yeah.
And we're so waspy. Like, why would we ask a question? Oh, it's Easter.
Oh, that's nice.
There was an answer, and that's all you get. The end.
And the other one is really St. Patrick's Day. Like, I remember going home probably 10 years ago, 12 years ago for St. Patrick's Day, and like everybody was making this big deal, and I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? The only thing I remember about St. Patrick's Day was my grandmother was saying if you wore orange, you were a traitor. Like, you just could not
Right.
wear orange because orange is the color of the opposition party of the British or something. Orange has something to do with the British, and you were representing the Irish. And my grandmother was Irish.
Right.
That was it. I have no memory of, like, my parents having and my parents had a party for just about every occasion, including days that ended up with Y. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember anybody going over the top for St. Patrick's Day, but also the food is shitty. Like, I don't like cabbage. I don't like corned beef very much. I don't like the ham at Easter. I'm not a big fan of chocolate. So maybe it's just they need to up their food game.
It needs to be better food.
To make a memory, but I have no memory of these holidays. Like, there was such a big production made of St. Patrick's Day because it was last Saturday. And where were we going to go to a pub? And I'm like, why would we, like, do we need
why
to?
would we
Is
do
that
that?
something we have to do? Like, in a Catholic city, do we really want to go to a pub? And then sure enough, it was just shamrock to shamrock. Like, you're just crammed in with people sweating and watching shit and eating awful, I mean, pub food is delicious. I don't mean to malign the food. I will take that back. But it was just such a weird thing. Like, why are we cramped into this? Like, what is it about your childhood and this holiday that means this is where we had to come tonight? Like, this is what we had to do. And I
had no
baffled.
desire to be part of the celebrations of this past St. Patrick's Day, but I posted just on Facebook that I was craving late in the day. I wasn't part of any other bullshit. Didn't even wear green. Didn't care. I just was craving a spicy Bloody Mary. And so about 45 minutes later, Bootsy, Daniel Ray, our friend, texts me and he goes, "Did you find that Bloody Mary?" No, take that back. He said, "Are you day drinking somewhere?" And I'm like, "No, but I want a Bloody Mary." So we just went to Stacy's. Again, we don't give a shit about anything. We sat in a corner alone, and then people showed up that were already wasted from being out all day.
Right.
But we didn't care about the St. Patrick's Day. We just both like, well, God, a Bloody Mary sounds good.
Right, and but you've celebrated the tradition before. I've just never consciously woke up on
but I don't care
March
anymore.
17th and been like, I've got to do something like it's never
Sing Danny Boy or something
occurred to me.
Yeah, no, I don't care about that either.
I can commit suicide on my own time. I don't need a song.
No, I don't care. And like I said, the only things I remember like for Easter was when we were all younger, my grandparents. It was great for my mom and her sisters to get all the kids together. We had a big house, big yard. They could hide Easter eggs everywhere. We all did that. It was all candy and being on a sugar coma.
Right, I don't like. We
but
never did Easter.
We did that,
Yeah.
and then there was a meal only, and the meal was obviously all the family was together, and then we all ate all the time. But for a religious reason, there was no.
Oh,
there was
no,
nothing.
and I'm not talking about because Christmas is not about religion 90% of the time. It's about presents and like
And I don't care about that
waking
either.
up early in the morning. But the Easter
Santa
thing,
Claus.
like I never went to an Easter egg hunt. Like I have
Yeah, we
no
did all that.
working memory of this holiday being anything but like saying no to my mom, going to a sunrise service. Like there's no meals, and my cousins came over constantly. The grandparents, everybody descended on our house to celebrate a Thursday in June. Like there was no excuse not to come to our house. So the fact that there's like no, I'm like, and my sister calls me every year. Oh, I miss you so much this day. I'm like, really? Because I think I slept through it. Or they just lost interest because I'm so much younger that they were over it, and Easter somehow just got.
Oh, could have been that.
Oh,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, like there's something
Their
about this
Easter
Easter
memories, they forget that you weren't part of it.
There's something about this Easter thing that I'm like, I do not understand
I
what
don't-
you're going
most
for.
holidays I don't really care about at all. I
Oh no!
pretty
And
much
as
all
an
of them.
adult, absolutely no.
Right.
I mean, I love me some 30 days of Thanksgiving because Mama want turkey.
Right, sure. Which rolls into
And I like a Christmas song here and there, and I like fireworks. So there's a couple of
and you
of
can
holidays.
get fireworks on New Year's Eve too. So I mean, you could even let go of the 4th. And
It really is the perfect mixing of things. I mean, it's the holiday I like the most. I like New Year's Eve. I don't like the people, but I like, saying goodbye to the old, hello to the new. That's just it. I was just curious because like that's the St. Patrick's Day threw me, and then like now we're at Easter, and like I know I'm gonna get a card for my sister in the next 2 days that says about how much she misses me this week, and I every year I'm like, Easter, really? I don't get it.
And this year, Easter and April Fool's Day are on the same day.
And aren't we all the wiser for it?
Yeah, sure. So you never know. Is that a bunny jumping out, or you're gonna get
And I don't like English pub food. I like Irish pub food. There is a big difference because the English have never learned to cook anything in their lives. But the Irish at least found out about spices at some point.
Yeah, there's that.
True.
Well, thank you. Good
Good
night.
job. Good job. Good
Okay.
show.
I wasn't sure if
Good talk.
was there
Good
a
talk.
follow up to that, but I think we're good. Don't you?
I feel good about it.
Oh no,
I
I'm done.
Okay, there's that.
We gotta go watch Jeremy Jordan.
We're gonna do that. And then I'm going to push you through Down syndrome, girl. You're going to learn that one.
Oh, I know that song from her.
From who?
From Becky from Glee. Like, I went back and watched everything with her in it and about her.
Right, but never mind. We'll get there.
For the post-show meeting.
Everybody, thanks for being in the chat room. We're going to be the hell out. I guess we're coming back next week, too. Maybe Marty will join us. I don't know if her girlfriend's going to schedule a late in the afternoon doctor's appointment on the other side of the valley, but who knows? We'll figure
Smart.
that out. But, Kat, thank you for being here this week. My God, it's been
thanks.
great
I
to
do what I
see you.
can.
Al
You
Perkins
too.
came all the way
Good
from
work.
Italy.
Good morning.
And I just came from my kitchen, which is on the other side of this wall.
Look at all the good you do.
Oh, very great. Any of you boys and girls, as we do each and every week, we will see you next Tuesday.